Hello! Hello! How is everybody? Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. My name's Mikey. Welcome. Hope you're all doing well. How's everyone doing? Is everyone excited? Today's the day. Let me take a little drink and let me tell you about the day. Here we go. Today's the day, chat. So tasty. Salty. But damn, is it full of flavour? I'm bright yellow. How's everyone doing? Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Mikey. Today's a big day because the balanced data slate is due out sometime today. I don't know when that will be. But I'm here, I'm live, and we thought we could wait for the balanced data slate together. It could come out either now, or any time before midnight, okay? So we've got 11 hours to potentially kill. Balanced data slate is there. Is it actually out? I think you're lying. I know the app's updated, but I can't be asked to read people's screenshots. MetaWatch just posted on Warcom. You're fucking lying, mate. You're fucking lying, pal. Article's up. What the fuck? Where's the article? I've DM'd it to you. Oh, the article is actually up. This isn't about waiting room. Charlie's not waiting room. Charlie's not waiting room. It's actually out. Balanced data slate is actually out. Oh my god. I thought it'd be out for like an hour or two. Balanced data slate is out now. It's out, everyone. It's out. Look at it. Read them and weep. It's out, everyone. I thought it was going to be a waiting room. I thought I had an hour. Okay, so make sure you did it to me again. I thought we had an hour. They did it to me again. The balanced data slate is here, everyone. Oh my god, it is a big day. It's a big day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That was a very short wait. Thank you, Lyle, for pointing it out. Okay, let's go through it. What do we get to laugh at today? Literally everything. The balanced data slate autumn 2023. However you choose to play Warhammer 40,000, the recommendations in this document are designed to create the most balanced and enjoyable experience for all players, taking into consideration the latest data and feedback from a wide variety of sources. They will be applied in full at official Games Workshop match play and Crusade events. So this affects Crusade as well as match play. And reviewed periodically, where existing passages of rule text are presented, new or revised sections are marked in red. Devastating wounds. You were fun. We all hated you, but you were fun. And goodbye for now. Goodbye, Devastating. Let's get Hellstorm 17 chat for Wraith Knight Devastating Wounds. Let's get those Hellstorm 7s in chat. Okay, let's have a look. Weapons with devastating wounds in their profile are known as devastating wound weapons. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, if that attack scores a critical wound, no saving throw of any kind can be made, including invulns. Where have I heard that before? Where have I heard devastating wounds should just ignore saves rather than do mortal wounds? I wonder. Right, okay. We need a ticker. Okay? We need a ticker. How many times does Games Workshop owe me £420 an hour? Because that is my idea that I gave to them for free. Make me a playtester! Make me a playtester! How can you not? You literally stole my rule! You stole my rule! I said devastating wounds should just ignore saves. And I've been saying this ever since I saw the rule. Isn't that the same as mortal wounds? No? No. Because it only applies to a single model. Meaning, when your Wraith Knight shoots a Space Marine, no matter what they roll, each shot will kill one Space Marine, rather than one shot doing 12 mortal wounds and killing 6 Space Marines. Let me just drink again. I need another drink. So good. Anyway. The saving throws can be made against critical wounds caused by this weapon. So basically, rather than doing mortal wounds, it's just going to ignore saves. Which means it gives... it's great against vehicles, other Wraith Knights, and stuff like that. Against big stuff, it's great if it's multiple damage, like 2d6 damage, like a Wraith Knight Wraith Cannon. What it's not so great against is units, like Space Marines, you know? You can't just like go, oh, I'm going to fake dice a 6 to automatically do 2d6 mortal wounds and then just roll enough mortal wounds to wipe the unit. Each shot can only kill one Space Marine. Now, if a Wraith Knight puts a Wraith Cannon into some Space Marines, it's probably going to kill a few. If it puts both, it's probably going to kill all of them. But that's not just like one shot that's doing it. You can't auto guarantee the unit's dead, which is a great change. The things it doesn't really change, combi weapons. Combi weapons only do 1 damage, so they're just like as normal. And the one unit that probably misses out on this, whilst you can only kill 1 model at a time, Custodians don't ignore devastating wounds anymore. Custodians don't ignore those devastating wounds anymore because they get a 4+ Feel No Pain against mortal wounds. Same as the Chaplain gets a 4 Feel No Pain against mortal wounds. Doesn't do mortal wounds anymore, so you can't ignore devastating wounds with like Feel No Pains of that type. Any other Feel No Pain is fine though. So, yeah, you'll still get Feel No Pain, but like things that are Feel No Pain against mortal wounds now doesn't against critical. It just ignores your save. So, it's completely nerfed in a really good way. It means Wraith Cannons are really good at taking out tanks still, and they're not so great at taking out units, which is what I said all along. Games Workshop, £420 in the post, please. £420 in the post. Okay. I don't have enough space to record this, so I just got to leave the live stream up. Stratagems. Okay, next. Huge. Huge. Modifying a stratagem's CP cost. Rules that modify the CP cost of a stratagem when you target a particular unit can only do so for a stratagem that targets multiple units if every unit you target that has the same ability to modify the CP that is a stratagem. So basically, this is things like Nexus, Death Watch, stuff like that you can use a CP for free. I don't know why Death Watch is... you can CP for free, but you can target multiple units with it. Also, hell yeah to Organ. Thank you so much for the gifted. Really appreciate it. It looks good. GW have brains. No, they stole me. They stole my ideas, and now they're selling it as their own. Again, everyone's going to be like, Games Workshop, well done. They stole it. They know they did. They know they watched my stream. I know they watched my stream because they were pissed off about them. Okay? And now they steal the rules from them and sell them as their own. George Wright, listen to what I'm saying. Grey name cringe, okay? Custodians get a Feel No Pain against mortal wounds. It's not a mortal wound, so you don't get a Feel No Pain. Okay? Okay. Anyway, all good. Thank you so much for the gift of membership. You can become a member for as little as £1.99 a month. We're trying to hit 10 every single stream. And if you want the great content that Games Workshop won't pay for, then you can become a member, because they probably should, because they should become a member, but you could also become a member as well. Anyway, so basically, if you've got a stratagem that you can use on multiple units at the same time, thank you, Mercenary Q, thank you for the gifted, legendary. If you use the stratagem on a multiple units, you can only use it on one unit if less they have a rule that also says you can use it on that unit for free. Which is interesting, because if you can use it for free, you can use it on 2 units now, rather than just the one that they originally said at Tacoma Open. The big one is rules that modify CP cost of stratagems. Looking at you, Rights of Battle Captain. Good night, Death Watch, Hellblaster unit. Rules that modify the CP cost of a stratagem that do not specify the name of a stratagem, such as Rights of Battle for making it free, or Vex for making them 1 more CP, can only be used on battle tactic stratagems. This does not apply to Aircast Colossus, Striding Colossus, or Towering Wraith constructs, which is basically the ones that make them really expensive because they're Titans. So now if you've got a Watchmaster that can use a stratagem, a Watchmaster that can increase the CP, a Calidus Assassin, Vect, or you've got things that can make it user free for Rights of Battle, Hive Tyrants, anything like that, you can only use it on battle tactic stratagems. What are battle tactic stratagems? With no idea. Can't remember all of them because no one cares about those notes. Also, Congress Stewie, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Really appreciate it, mate. Let's get on that hype train. We're only three in out of the 10. So things that make stratagems cost nothing are supremely nerfed. Again, like you've got all the things that make it for free. Basically, every stratagem in the game could be used for free. Multiple Overwatches are now out the window. You can only Overwatch once because it's a strategic ploy stratagem rather than a battle tactic stratagem. So now you can only Overwatch once per turn because you can't use it for free anymore unless you have a rule that specifically says you can fire Overwatch, like Azerman and Hexmarks and stuff like that. They're the only ones that allow you to Overwatch multiple times. So Overwatch has had an inherent nerf here with this rule, which people might not realize. But pretty much every stratagem in the game or every unit that affects CP costs is like supremely nerfed. So like Kaladas Assassin, now not an auto take. Captains, now you're probably not even interested because they can only use like command re-roll, I think is the battle tactic of the core stratagems, I believe. There might be a few more. I'm sure chat will correct me if I'm wrong. But that is like the big one. It's like you can't like use free teleports. You can't use multiple stratagems that you would normally go. That's a really good stratagem and use it twice a turn. Out the window. My list on Monday, when I was talking about the Tyranids and the Hive Tyrant picking up multiple units a turn, gone. Gone. No more. No more. Okay. Armor of Contempt. Yes, you can use Armor of Contempt for free. But that's... And go to... So, command reroll, Armor of Contempt, and go to ground as a Space Marine player, as a Gladius player. They're the only stratagems you could use, I think. Oh, there's quite a few more. But, like, core stratagems, there's go to ground and command reroll. You know? But look at, like, Death Watch, for example, doing really well. They don't have any battle tactic stratagems, I don't think, except for Armor of Contempt. So yeah, so, like... Gaining the CP, units that gain a CP, like Hive Tyrants, Way Leapers for Eldar, not that they need anything, and now way stronger than using a stratagem for free, and things that increase the cost are like way more limited. So they're green strats. No, the timing isn't the same. The timing is the color, Decnol, not the... It used to be color. It was color in 9th edition, but in 10th edition they made the timing the color. So blue means like your turn. Green means like shooting phase or fight phase, and red means your opponent's turn. Something along those lines. Okay, next up. Stratagems can be used more than once per phase. Rules that allow you to use a stratagem, even if a unit has already been targeted, can only be used on battle tactic stratagems. There you go. That's just rounded out. I skipped ahead. That was previously. So things that let you do more than once, it can only be battle tactics. So fire Overwatch. Fire Overwatch. Get in the bin, Wraith Knights, but also Desolation Marines get in the bin. Wraith Watch is essentially the same, but you need line of sight. You can't Overwatch with indirect anymore, which is like a humongous change. I know a lot of people talk about the app saying, oh, like, not a lot's been nerfed. This is a huge one. You can only Overwatch if the enemy unit is visible, so indirect can't Overwatch unless you can physically see them. And you can't Overwatch with Titanic. Get in the bin, Wraith Knights. No more Wraith Cannons picking up a unit in Overwatch. Obviously, like, Wraith Knights have just been nerfed to the ground anyway. But, but yeah, like, not being able to target a Titanic unit, which means big Knights with, like, 9,000 weapons can't Overwatch. But also, you can't indirect Overwatch. So you can't, like, just indirect 24 inches with like, any indirect, like, 10 Desolation Marines and stuff like that. So that's a great change. That is a great change. That's not something I really considered. I just thought Overwatch is going to remain broken. But the fact that you can only use it once per turn rather than using it for free, and you can't fire indirectly is great. And obviously not being able to target Titans is also great. But then another one, Insane Bravery. So happy I won't get 25 more weeks for a Wraith Knight in Overwatch anymore. Bless up GW. Yeah. A little bit of me as well. I'm not going to say the devastating wounds change. They're definitely yoinked from me. So Insane Bravery is now just like 9th edition. Okay, that's the big change. You don't take it after the roll because that's stupid. You automatically pass instead of making a roll. But also, you can only use it once. So the fact that you rolled Insane Bravery or rolled for leadership and then went, you know what, I'm going to pass anyway. And it was just like any turn. It was really strange. But now it's before you roll, and it's once per battle. So it's like a huge change. It's supremely nerfed. It's much harder. Like, everyone complains that Battleshot doesn't really do anything because you basically ignore it all the time. That one time you fail, you just auto pass, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you do it again. Now it's once per game. Okay, so I think that's a great change because it means Battleshock is going to be a little bit more worrisome compared to what we used to, and it's great. It's great. John, mate, what have you missed? This, just a reminder. So good. So tasty. So tasty. Anyway. Ruins visibility. Now, this is the big one. This is the big one. Towering. Towering. What the tears taste like? Tastes like Capri Sun. Eldar tea is so good. Oh, man. Eldar tea is so good. Love it. Anyway. Towering. So this is the huge one. So obviously, like, towering, and like we have ruins, and we have these bases. Don't forget we got the kitchen paper. No one forget the kitchen paper, the kitchen towel. Do I need to pull up the picture? I think I do. I think I do. It's here. Remember this infamous thumbnail that was so good? 30,000 views on YouTube. What can I say? What can I say? Obviously, we did this with the kitchen roll. So obviously, loads of ruins are on bases now. And this Dreadnought can't see this Termagant unit because it's not all completely on the base, as you can see. You know? As you can see. That was like a big thing that people realized. And obviously, we know now that if a terrain piece has a base, then you can't see through it unless you're wholly within. Except for Towering, that just ignored it. They just went, we just see like normal. The big change here is now Towering can see through buildings they're partially in, but they can't see through every building. Which is, my God. As a tournament organizer. Oh, man. Oh, man, this is huge. So, basically, Knights, Wraith Knights, and other big things kind of act the same way as other units, but the only difference is they don't need to be wholly on the terrain piece to see through the windows, etc. They just need to be on it, which means they have a really easy time of being able to see through the first piece of terrain they're on, but they can't see through the entire battlefield because everything else will trigger obscuring as normal, which is like the biggest change and probably the best change of the document so far. I think this is the biggest one because Towering, whilst you look at Imperial Knights are not doing so well, and then you look at like Wraith Knights and stuff like that, it is so hard to hide from these really scary units, and purely because the terrain isn't good enough, and the models are too big, and the models are too wide, and the guns are sticking out like this, and the guns are doing this, and they're trying to do this, trying to see over buildings, and they're like got one like this and one like this, and they're shooting from the end of the gun. Now they can't see through all the terrain. This is like a humongous change. So this is a really, really good change in my opinion. It's one of the best ones, I think. So again, credit where credit's due. I was cautiously optimistic because I was aware Games Workshop was like aware of a lot of the problems, and obviously they've just taken rules that I gave them and published it as their own. You know, you can copy my homework but make it look different. They just use a different font. So I think that's a great change, and I think all of the like core rule changes are honestly just really nice changes. Like the modifying stratagem CP cost is a weird one because there isn't that many battle tactic stratagems, and that wasn't their intention when they first made the rule. So the battle tactic stratagems are like a weird eclectic mix, but I think everything else is really, really nice. I agree with that. They just killed 2 factions with these changes. Probably Eldar, great. Probably what? What faction did they kill? So Knights are screwed then. No, they're not. No, they're not. So GW have figured out the only way to get around the need to hire you. Watching your content. YouTube views your only weakness. Fuck. I love YouTube views. Oh, man. And here we go. The faction changes now. So let's talk about Custodes. Unwavering Sentinels changed to Epic Deed. Now, I don't know what it was before, but I imagine it was a battle tactic stratagem. And now it's Epic Deed, which means you can't use it for free. And I believe this is the -1 damage, I think. I think this is the -1 damage. But either way, it's not a battle tactic now. That's the main thing. Custody Guard datasheet, maximum 5. That's huge. That is huge. Again, Custody Wardens, maximum 5. And Virtus Praetors, maximum 3. So they're like really limiting Custody Guard. Because I don't think they were expecting Custody players to just go, I'm going to run 9 on a character. Which I did think was weird. I think it was like a bit weird. But like, yeah, the fact that you could run Custody Guards with as 9 and a character was really strange. But now it's just like max 5, which is great. I think it's fight first. That makes sense. So you can't use fight first for free. Anyway, so that seems like quite a nice change. Like, the Bricks of Guard was really brutal with Fight First with -1 damage with Ceaseless Hunter. So now only max 5, so 6 with a character is pretty nice, to be honest. Tom, in what's still giving out mortals if dev wins are not mortals? It's just like mainly psychic powers now, which is great. Mainly the psychic powers now. So, Adeptus Mechanicus. Change the unit's save of characteristic 4 and its unrunnable save to 5. 5 each, Terminator still in 6 man. That's quite funny. David Hughes, thanks for the 13 months, brother. Thanks so much. I can't believe there's 500 people watching and no one told me that I spelled balanced DATASLATE wrong in the title. What's wrong with you? Psychopaths. Psychopaths. So yeah, so Skitarii Rangers 4 to 5, so they just got a better save, and then Vanguard as well. So, because Vanguard and Rangers were pretty shite. Balenciaga. 500 people, 39 likes. Get liking the stream. And also, if you haven't already, please become a member. We're trying to hit 10 members every single stream. If all 470 of you became a member or gifted a membership, I'd be able to retire. So, help me out, okay? Look, I'm getting spots on my head because I'm so stressed. Just help me retire, okay? Just one of you. Each one of you, £2. That's all I ask. Anyway. So the save change is really good. If they had a massive points cut as well, which chat has said, that's a great change. So, Eldar! Get fucked. Target 1 Eldar infantry unit with Phantasm. Phantasm being the make a 7-inch move in your opponent at the end of your opponent's movement phase. The amount of times the amount of times I've fucking deep struck or moved or just fucking turbo boosted to try and get something, and a Wraith Knight or something similar has fucking phantasmed and just upset me. Oh man, so good. Let's get some claps in chat for that. Get wrecked, Eldar. You threatened me to retire and no more gifted from me. I need content. If I retire, I can make more content, guys. Thank you so much. Big C for the gifted membership. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I retire, I'll just be doing this, but I won't have to, like, worry. Thank God Phantasm is dead. Phantasm is so done. So dumb. But now it's on the Eldar infantry, so I think this is probably going to push Eldar away from Wraith Knight Double Avatar. Depending on points, obviously, and push more towards tanks and infantry, I imagine. That's what I imagine, but we'll see. Okay. Agents of the Imperium. Get in the bin. Exaction Squad. Geek Commander, thanks so much for the gifted. Thank you so much for the gifted, Geek Commander. Exaction Squad, get in the bin. No longer will you be the best 35 points in the game because you can take units at 5 for some reason. John Swallow, thanks so much for coming to member, brother. Thanks so much, mate. If you retire, what good would be a member be? Because I'd be making content, but I'd be retired. So then Games Workshop wouldn't be able to steal my wouldn't be able to use my content, I guess. Listen, stop being a grey name. What do you think of the new Armor Plus models? I think they're mostly rubbish. This vampire's nice, but yeah, so like everyone was taking exaction squads. Everyone was like running. Well, sorry, everyone was taking Necromunda models and using the exaction squad rules. And I think making them 0 to 10 is fine. I don't know why they were units of 5. That didn't really make sense, but they were great. They were so good. Also, if you haven't already, join our Discord. Discord in chat. Okay, the big one. I don't want to look at the one next to it, so I'm going to try and make this as big as possible. There we go. Death Guard, spread the sickness. And during the declare battle formation step, select one of the sicknesses below. Until the end of the battle, all units with the Nurgle's gift ability gain the selected sickness. Now this is fun. Basically, this is in addition to Contagion, like -1 toughness. So while something's in Contagion range, you make it -1 toughness, and you choose one of these 3. So while an unit is within Contagion range, worsen the ballistic skill and weapon skill characteristics. Weapons equipped by models in that unit by 1. So charge something into combat, you reduce the ballistic skill. That's not -1 to hit. That's reducing the ballistic skill. While an enemy unit is within Contagion range of this unit, worsen the save characteristic of models in that unit by 1. Again, characteristic, not -1 save. Change the characteristic. That's great. And also, while enemies within Contagion range, while units within Contagion range, worsen the leadership and objective control characteristic of the unit by 1 to a minimum of 1. And then add this bit. So enemy units within Contagion range of it will have their characteristics modified. So not only will they be -1 toughness characteristic, they'll also be one of these abilities. The -1 ballistic skill and weapon skill is great. What's the difference between characteristic and -1 to hit? You can't stack -1 to hit. But you can reduce something's ballistic skill from 3+ to 4+, and then find a way to give it -1 to hit. Now they're hitting on 5s, which is very big. You know, which is very, very big. Mark Peters, thank you so much for becoming a member, brother. That's very kind of you. Really kind of you. So this is big. Again, if you've got any sort of -1 to hit, and you can -1 the ballistic skill or weapon skill, you buff both. Okay, that's great. You can essentially stack minuses on ballistic skill and weapon skill on saves and stuff like that, which is really nice. Because it's not the set. Again, you can maximum -1 to hit or wound, but the characteristic is being modified rather than the dice roll. So dice roll is limited to max plus or -1, as well as your save max +1. But changing the characteristic first is different. So is that intentional? That's currently how the rules work, and they wouldn't have said it otherwise. They would have just said -1. You know, -1 to hit rolls and -1 to wound rolls, or -1 to hit rolls in shooting and combat. But changing the ballistic skill and weapon skill is very different. So, and what you have to remember, guys, Death Guard Hellbrutes could do this at range, okay? They can shoot something, and they can do it at range. Let me have a look at the rule. Let me find it. Hellbrute. Death Guard Hellbrute. Each time this model selects shoot or fight, after it's finished making its attack, so shoot, importantly, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the start of your next turn, that enemy unit is considered within Contagion range. So now you can go, here's a las cannon, Get to fuck. Right, you're -1 ballistic skill. Now you're degraded. Now you're -1 to hit as well. So now you're -2 to hit, okay? Think about a Wraith. For example, a Wraith Knight, just the first one that's on top of my head. It's ballistic skill 3. You hit it with contagion. So now it's ballistic skill 4. You make it have less than 8 wounds. So now it's hitting on 5s. All I'm saying is, Death Guard players, rise up. It's your time to shine. So your next one's to get nerfed, okay? Your heads are going on. The Eldar head is coming off, and the Death Guard head is going in on the chopping block, okay? Okay. So that's great. That's a really great change. And now... and now, chat. Now I want to die, okay? Remember that time I won this? Remember that time I won this bad boy? Look at it. Isn't it glorious? Isn't it glorious? Well, the entire army is now in the fucking bin. Oh my god. Death Watch have been nerfed completely. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Matt Dyson Bolter. Did I single-handedly get Death Watch nerfed? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But let me tell you. Let me tell you. Does anyone want to buy? Does anyone want to buy some veterans? Okay. Does anyone want to buy some veterans? You know, I'm selling them really cheap. Okay. Just really cheap. Award-winning army list I can build you. Okay. Anyway, that dog shit. Because Dragonfire rounds, Hellfire rounds, and Kraken rounds now only affect bolt weapons. God damn it. God damn it. Can I have nothing? Can I have nothing? Can I please? Why can't I have nothing? I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left. Oh. So they defined a bolt weapon to be basically what you'd expect. Something with bolt in the word. And Dragonfire rounds. Until the end of the phase, models in your unit have the assault and ignore cover weapon ability, which could be used on anything in the game. Now it's only bolt weapons. Oh, that's cringe. That's so cringe. So dumb. I hate this game. Why did I play at Warhammer World and let the judge, the rules writing judge, watch my games? What am I going to take to Atlanta now? They just look at my army and they look at my ideas and just delete them all. Your cup of tears need changing to Mikey tears. That's true. It's just my tears now. Oh, man. I'm so sad. I'm so sad, chat. I'm so sad. I'll just rip the fucking design up here. Glad I didn't use that on the wrong cup. Looks like I'm taking Death Guard. True. True. Looks like I'm taking Death Guard. They're Space Marines. To be fair. To be fair, they are Space Marines. But anyway. Dragonfire rounds, Hellfire rounds is give anti-infantry 2+, anti-monster 5+, and Kraken rounds increases ballistics. Increases the AP and the range by 6. All bolt weapons. All only bolt weapons. So what this means is, obviously, jokes aside, you can't use any of these on Desolation Marines, which is obviously making them extra range and giving them AP. Was obviously insanely good. But without that, the main one is frag cannons. And frag cannons are 18-inch rapid fire. So the trick was to use the teleportarium to deep strike them 9 away, then extend the range by 6 inches so they could rapid fire a unit that's 12 away rather than 9 away, because obviously they can't deep strike so close. That's like the biggest change, I think. But obviously not being able to use anti-infantry 2, anti-monster 5 on fucking Desolation Marines when you've still got Wraith Knights walking about is bullshit. Hellblasters are sad. Mikey ruins Death Watch for all of 10. Thanks for that. Oh man. Oh man. Absolutely devastated. Listen, guys, I need a new army. So about that retirement. I'm coming out of retirement if you want to become a member for as little as £1.99 a month. Okay? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mercenary. Listen, let's get some Hellstorm 7s in chat for the Deathwatch army that I never bought. Kev and Alex, who painted it for me, I'm so sorry that all your models are now really bad.
Gifted member.
I'm so sorry. All your models are really bad. Let's get some Hellstorm 7s in chat. It's a sad day. Let's get a new one.
Member.
It's a moment of silence for everyone at home. There we go. At least it's not a Ponzi scheme, to be fair. Wargaming. I love Death Guard. Okay? I think Death Guard are really cool. I've always liked Death Guard. So anyway, what's funny is the Deathwatch... sorry, not the Deathwatch. Where is it? The Sternguard... What's it? Sternguard bolt rifle and the Sternguard bolt rifle, bolt pistol, and Sternguard heavy bolt are bolt weapons. And they've nerfed devastating wounds and they still don't let it interact with Hellfire rounds. So Sternguard still can't use Hellfire rounds. If they'd made Hellfire rounds get rid of this excluding devastating wounds bit, Deathwatch would be like, oh, they're back on the cards. Okay? They're back on the cards. But no, they've just fucking nerfed them to the ground. And I bet, I say I bet, I already know. I know that veteran squads have gone up like 30 points and desolation squads are limited to 5-man units, so I just want to die. There it is. There it is. The second knife in the heart. The second knife in the heart, guys. Let's get another Hellstorm 7 for the Desolation Marines. Maximum 5. And they can't even use the stratagems in Deathwatch anymore. Very, very sad. Very sad. Oh, man. Just fucking shoot me while I'm down, mate, you know? You've already tranked me. Why don't you stand on my head as well? You've already shat on me, so why not a little bit of piss in my mouth, you know? You've already wined and dined me and shoved it on my backside. Why not come on my face as well? You know? You know? Oh, man. This is not an idea I gave you. Why are you doing this? Anyway. Right, back to more fun things. G's to the cults. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. If your faction is G's to the cults, each time a unit's ability is destroyed, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if it's a battle line unit, and adding 1 to the result if it's a first or second battle round. On a 5+, add a new unit to your army identical. With its starting wounds remaining, and you can place 1 ambush marker anywhere on the battlefield is more than 9 inches away horizontally. If it's not possible, no marker is placed. So now you have to roll for the units to come on, I believe. I don't think you had to roll at all, or it's like really easy. Shall I have a look at the actual wording? I don't actually remember. Cult ambush. Because it's changed twice before the game started, like since the game came out. Cult ambush. So it's on a 4+, and adding 3 if it was a battle line unit. So now it's a 4+ for a battle line unit. Basically, or 3+ on the first turn. Or first or second turn. And that's a really big change, because now it's just like nowhere near as easy. You know? On a 5+, 4+ if it's a second battle, first or second turn. 3+ if it's battle line, but any other turn it's on a 5+ or a 4+. Add a unit that's identical, which is really nice. This is escalated in a strange direction. What do you expect? What do you expect? They took everything from me. I've got nothing left. I've got nothing. What am I going to take to Atlanta? I'm going to get my ass handed to me. I ain't got a broken army I can use anymore. God damn it. God damn it. But yeah, adding an actual usable dice roll now rather than just like battle line doing it for free, so everyone only taking battle line is great. I got some armies. Bruh. Atalan Jackals must be set up wholly within 9 inches of battlefield edge now. I believe it was like 12, was it? Atalan. Atalan Jackals. Outrider Gags. Yeah, it's wholly within 6, so they can come on a little bit further. Take Red Death Guard. True. I should. Don't worry, Mikey. We have faith you'll find someone else broken in time. Will I? Will I, though? Hallowed is Soulfire. Change your strategic ploy strategy. But guess what? The entire Grey Knights army dropped like 20%. Guess who just bought a Grey Knights army, gamers? It's your boy! It's your boy! Ah, the Grey Knights. The Grey Knights. They're going to be so glorious. When Paladins come down 60 points a unit. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. But another big one is Imperial Knights. Paladin Mikey. You know what? I've always really liked Grey Knights. Always really liked Grey Knights. I think the lore's really cool. I think they're really fun. I didn't mention Necrons. Have I got the Necrons? Probably not. If not, go back. It's fine. Some quiz stories knights have a bondsman ability tagged with the word bondsman in your command phase. One or more models from your army with a bondsman ability can use that ability. For each one that does, select one friendly Armiger unit within 12. Until the start of your next command phase, the Armiger model is affected by that bondsman ability. So bondsman abilities, each knight has its own unique one. Each knight has a unique bondsman ability, and they're both really good. And previously, you know, they would affect the knight and the Armiger. So they'd like be bondsmen. They'd be brothers in arms, and they both get the ability. And then they went, nah, just the Armiger gets it now. Now just the Armiger gets the ability. Which is interesting. Funny. Lol. Paladin's Assassin went down 25 points. Yeah, because their ability got nerfed, mate. And then we've got a bunch of stratagems being increased to 2 CP. Now, there's not many 2 CP stratagems in the game, in each index, but 2 of them have been nerfed for Imperial Knights. No points for you, Martin. I'm doing the balanced data slate. You guys all right? Saying I've not done Necrons. Did I miss Necrons? Necrons aren't even on this document. I'm doing it's one at a time, guys. Guys, it's one at a time. Okay? Leagues of Votan. Start of the battle, select a number of units for your opponent's army depending on the battle size as shown below. I believe you only chose 1 unit, right? For ruthless efficiency. Yeah, select 1 unit, but now you select 4 units. Why 1 unit when you can select 4? Each one of those gets 2 judgment tokens. And obviously, judgment tokens are great, but if you destroy those units, you get command points. So you can get 3 CP if you kill it turn 1 or turn 2, 2 CP 3rd or 4th, and then 1 CP if you're doing the 5th command phase. 5th battle round, sorry. So why choose 1 unit where you can have 4 units to give all of the command points? So try to trick me. There's no demons in this fucking document. Okay? So what do I think to the balanced data slate as a whole? This bit great. Great. Absolute trash. All this, absolute trash. I don't know why they even bothered wasting the space on the page. They could have deleted this and moved all this up and had it 2 pages long. You know? All of this, trash. The rest of it, great. Fine. That's great. You know? This, waste of paper. You know? Trying to be green, Games Workshop. Look at all the extra pixels I've got to load because you won't get rid of the Death Watch nerfs and put that up there. But anyway, overall, pretty good. Does it hit a lot of the main problems? Yes. Does it hit everything? No. The Incarn can still teleport every fucking phase. That needs to get in the bin. Okay? That still needs to get in the bin. They haven't really addressed, like, indirect. which is like, yeah, you can't Overwatch with indirect anymore, which is nice. Indirect is still really strong. It would have been nice to see a little change, maybe. If you're going to fucking take Desolation and Marines away from me, take everyone's fucking indirect away from everyone, you know? So like the abilities, a lot of the things have been addressed. A lot of the armies that are problematic have been addressed. There's no nerf to 1,000 Suns here, so you're hoping the points have shot up for them. But overall, a quite nice change. Don't call me Bozo. Bozo. Eldar's still going to be Eldar is still going to be strong. But it's not going to be, here's 2 Wraith Knights, there's no point playing strong. Eldar are going to be a lot more beatable, in my opinion. Because, like, yeah, you can take all of the tanks, which obviously Fire Prisms are still really good. Night Spinners obviously still really good. But, like, the D-Cannons are a lot worse. The Wraith Knights are a lot worse. The Incarn is still really good, so it's still an auto-take. But I think Eldar is going to be closer to beatable rather than absolutely stupid. Don't even bother turning up. Which it was. Or is currently. You know? I think it is currently. You know, before this comes out. Patrick, thank you so much for the gifted to Mike Duff. Mike Duff, stop being a poor man and become a member.
Gifted member.
Make sure you pass on the old love and let someone else become a member. We got rules commentary as well. Is the rules commentary being updated? Hello.
Member.
Hello, rules commentary update. Eligible to shoot. Unless a rule specifically states otherwise, units that have shot are no longer eligible to shoot. Thank God. Thank God. It's finally time. It's finally time. Thank God. We don't have to have stupid arguments of being like, well, I've shot, but I'm still eligible to shoot. Because the rules never say I'm not eligible to shoot. Shut up. Shut up. That's what I say to you. Any other changes? Probably not. Vehicles with bases. When measuring to and from vehicles with bases, excluding aircrafts and walkers, always measure to the closest part of the model for all rules purposes, i.e. measure to and from its base or its hull, whichever is closer. When a model ends a move with engagement range of one or more vehicles with bases, it is considered to be in base-to-base contact with that vehicle. All those vehicles, while it is within 0 inch horizontally and 5 inches vertically of any of those vehicle models. Holy shit. Holy shit. All vehicles are like this high. All vehicles are like this high now. Oh, that's hilarious. Which points do we use? One's in the manual, mate. We did this the other day. Always the manual. How high? Do I have any flying vehicles? The Gladiator is only this high now. There's a base on that side. This part, 5 inches high. That's hilarious. It's huge. We've actually got a silhouette of a vehicle on the battlefield now. That's hilarious. That's great. That's a great change because essentially like 9th edition, because like having to charge things to the base was really dumb. Really, really dumb. Do we have anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. Right, that's it for that. Let's do some points. Oh, baby. Let's get the old points up first. Oh, can we get the old points? That was silly, probably. Oh, maybe it hasn't updated on here yet. 5th of the 7th. Oh, let's go. Right, that's the old points. Beautiful. Beautiful. We did it, chat. We did it together. So we got 1.3. Adeptus Sororitas. So, Astrid down 15. Arcos down 10. 5 and 10. Battle Sisters down 10. Alright. Canoness down 10. Castigator down 10. Everything's down 10 points. Crusaders down up Crusader's nerfed. Don't know why Crusader's been nerfed. Fair enough. Dialogus. Let me make this full screen. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Dogmata, down 5. Dominion, down 10. Exorcist, down 10. Everything's down. Except for Crusaders. You don't say the old points. Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I do that when someone else could do it for me? Okay. Sisters, great. Here we go. Custodes already had their max unit size nerfed. Alara still able to take units of 6, but also up 10 points a model. Or 5 points a model, sorry. No, 10 points. Wait, what? That's up 10. That's up 15. That's up 25. And then that's up 30. So the initial ones are up 10, but the rest are up 5, technically. Which is quite interesting. It's not what do you call it? It's not like systematic upgrades. It's like 2 of them are up 10 points, but then if you take more, they're only up 5. 5 points a model. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because you can take 2. I'm stupid. Blade Champion, get in the bin, up 20, lol. Custody Guard, up 20. Up. Up 25, get fucked. It's not linear. It was linear, actually. It actually was linear. Bozo behavior. Shut the fuck up. Don't call me a bozo, bozo. So yeah, so Custody Guard up quite a bit, up 25 points for a 5-man. But the main thing is you can't take more units of 9 or 10 anymore. Which is obviously the big one, because people are running units of 9 and then taking a character in there, so it's unit of 10. As soon as you lose a model, you don't suffer as much blast, which is great. Basic adding and subtracting Warhammer World Champion Martin. I didn't even write my own list because I'm bad at math. Okay? Bad at math. So I didn't even write my own list. I just stole someone else's, copy and pasted it, and then turned up on the day and rolled some dice. Rolling dice, you don't need maths. Okay? You need to add 2 numbers together, and those units are maximum between 1 and 12. That's all you need to worry about. Okay, what else has got up? Shield Captain. Up 20 points. Alaris Captain. Up 20 points. Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle. Up... How many? 35 points. What are they high? Trajan up 15. Let's go. Venerable Land Raider down 20. There's your one win. A win's a win. Custody players. Virtus Praetors. Obviously completely nerfed. They are actually cheaper. They're actually down 10 points a model. Which is nice. Vigilators are also down. Witch Seekers are also down. Forge World. Agmatus are down. Which ones are the Agmatus? Are they the ones with funky spears? Aquilans are down as well. So a lot of the Forge World stuff seems to have come down. Venetarian down. 35 points for 3. Sagittarium down 25 points. Custody Guard down 25 points. A Contemptor down up 10. So like quite an interesting change. Bad at math, former engineer. True. So a lot of the Forge World stuff has gone down, but the main change is the unit sizes, and that's like where they've like really been nerfed, and for very good reason as well. Like Custody is supposed to be elite, and then people running 3 bricks of 10, just like stop it. Stop. Anyway, Admech time. Tom, are you going to come play Admech? Because they seem to be through the floor. Fuselage down 5. Transvector down 15. Corpuscari Electro Priest down 10 per brick. Down 10, 20. Fulgurites down 20 on the unit 5, which is great. Castellan Robots down 15, so down 7.5 points per model. Breaches. How the breaches have come down, I don't know, because they're the best unit in the Codex. And Destroyers have also come down, best unit in the Codex. Taraxi down 5, which is nice. The Sterilizers down 5 as well. Cerberus Raiders down 15, which is a nice change. We didn't really see those now. We didn't really see many fucking Admech, to be fair. Sulphur Hounds down 10. Sakaran Infiltrators, down 10. So a lot of down 10. Marshall, very cheap, down 10. Rangers down. Whoa. Whoa, baby. 35-point drop and 20-point drop on Vanguard. That's huge. That's huge. My guard list got 180 points cheaper. I could add another Russ if I owned one. Fair play. Mercenary says, I went from owning 2,100 points of Votan to 1,600. And now I'm down to 1,200. They just love it. Shrinkflation, mate. Just worth less. That's how it works. Disintegrator down 15. Sidonian Dragoons down 15. Whoa. Those are some huge points differences. Get these players on a clock. Get these players on a clock, man. They are some horrific points drops. Like, Skitarii Rangers down 35 points a unit. That's three points a model. They're down. If you want to just spam those, just think how much you're saving. Now, obviously, they've not had any buffs with the balanced data slate, but everyone else has been nerfed, so inherently they've been buffed, so they're better at dealing with other stuff. But you just get loads of stuff. Don't need them on a clock for when they don't kill anything and get killed by everything. Nothing left on turn 3. Fair. True. Adepts of Titanicus haven't changed, so Titans are the same. Here we go, the big one. It's time for the Eldar. Now, Nick has been very kind and actually put together a spreadsheet. Now, I haven't seen this spreadsheet, so I'm going to open it before I pull it up on stream. He's actually done a spreadsheet of the top 8 lists at Goonhammer Open to show you just how much difference there is. So we've got to skip ahead just to look at Chris Patterson, who won, had a 2,330 point list according to the balanced data slate today. 2,330 points. Which is pretty funny. Nathan only had a 2,110 and beat Eldar. Dan Whitting had 2,285. Clearly, that's why he lost. Who was this? Raf went up 2,385. Wait, how did you get original points at 2,090, Nick? Wait, what? Was he just cheating? Nick, are you trying to out Raf as a cheater? How is he 90 points over? Is Raf a cheat? I don't think he is. Something tells me he isn't, but I think Nick might have done the maths wrong here. We've got Josh Roberts. I think that's the same list, isn't it? Yeah, I think he's cocked up the list somewhere. Because they're the same list and they're the different points. The Shadow Spectres are wrong. Oh, yeah, look. God damn it. God damn it, Nick. Trying to out Raf as a cheater? I can enable editing. There we go. Beautiful. Much better. Much better. I don't know what he's done here. There we go. They should be the same. It's the same list. And then Alex Fowler. Here he is. Alex, have you been cheating? I know you used 1970. What? Where's the rest of your points, bro? I guess you don't have any left. That was interesting. With the Eldar players having like 2,300 points according to Bad's data slate. But here it is. The Eldar. Azerman up 15. Autarchs up 10. Not enough, in my opinion. Autarch Wayleaper up 25. Much better. Avatar up 40. Excellent. Get fucked. If I can't have Death Watch, you can't have Eldar. Dark Reapers. Dark Reapers up 5 points, which is fine. I think Dark Reapers are probably in a good place, to be honest. Death Jester, up 20, which is great. He gives a loads of fate dice, loads of additional fate dice. Eldrad up 10. Farseer, stupid model, up 15. Farseer Skyrunner, up 15, stupid model. Fire Prism up to 180, so a 30-point hike. I think these... Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. The playtesters of 10th edition originally put out a Fire Prism at 120 odd points, right? I'm pretty sure Fire Prisms were 120 points when they came out. And now they're 180. Whoever playtested Eldar needs to stop playing Warhammer. I'm going to keep saying that because they clearly don't know what's going on. They're clearly cracked in the brain, you know? Taking something, injecting it up the arm because they play Eldar, and they don't know what they're doing. 4 games a week. 125 to 180 in the space of 2 months. Jesus Christ. 180 in Count Phantasm. Unfucking lucky. You still only have to put one out and to be in danger. Then the other 2 can shoot through it because it's stupid. God damn it. Anyway, the Incarn. Jilly Incarni up 80 points. Get to fuck. The Incarn up 80 points is justified. I still think the Incarn is worth it because the fact that it can still teleport multiple times a turn, well, every phase it can still teleport. It's still stupid. And it's so good. It's half damage. It's D6 plus 1 damage. It's really good. At 350 points, it's still an auto take, I think. You know? Still an auto take. It'll still be a staple. Yeah, it's just like teleporting every turn and charging. Just like, why wouldn't you? You know? The Fire Prisms nuke something. The Incarn teleports next to it. You charge it into combat. It's still an auto take. It's still really good. Support weapons. Support weapons, which were 55 points at one point, are now 125 each. 2 months. What were the playtesters doing? They were just taking all the free hobnobs, weren't they? They were just taking all the free hobnobs. Oh, man. Auto take by who? Eldar are still really strong. They're just not as dumb. 55 points and KB use of 3. True. True. You use of 3. 125 points. 125 points. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a great day. What a great day. I've run out of Eldar tiers. I could do with a few more. Night Spinner up 10, which is still really good. Night Spinners are still really strong at 180. Illic Night Spear up 5. Not many people using Illic, but I know John was using Illic. He's really good. Unless you redeployed units. Void Weavers, Vipers, and Warwalkers all up as well. So Void Weaver up 25, Viper up 10, and Warwalker up 15. All arguably fine. Warp Spiders up 15 per 5 as well, which is really good. And then Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard. Up 30 points. No? Up 24. Up 15 points, sorry. 30 on the max unit. And Wraith Knight, the big one. Again, up. How many points was it when it came out? Like 300? Remember when Neil of all people was beating me because you used Wraith Knight like 300 points or something stupid. Now they're 510, which is great. The main thing is, obviously, Devastating Wounds has been nerfed. You can't Phantasm it, but also you can't put it in reserve. Now you can't even put it in reserve anymore. You can't strategic reserve, which is why it's over 500 points. Quote, unquote, technically can't quote. That's why it's over 500. It's so you can't strategic reserve it, which is probably good. 380, right? Remember when Neil was like, I'm really good at Warhammer? Neil was like, I'm really good at Warhammer. He's using Wraith Knights and D-Cannons at like 380 points and 50 points each. And he could Overwatch me. And he was Devastating Wounds and everything. And I was like, bruh. Bruh, why am I really bad at Warhammer? It turns out Eldar was really broken. And then this is the second time they've been nerfed. They're great changes. Great changes. So obviously the Wraith Knights and the Incarn have been the ones that have been hit the most. The D platforms. But every good unit, every other good unit that people instantly will look at will also go up. I just keep getting memberships. Thank you to whoever doing this. It's much appreciated. Connor Flynn, freeloader. Freeloader. Mock him, everyone. Stop being a freeloader. Thank you so much for the 3 months. If you want to pay it forward, you can let someone else become a member for £5. They get to join our Discord, !Discord in chat. There's like 500 people watching, and I don't have 500 members. So maybe we could make that number the bigger number, the better, but then I'll be a better person. That'll be so cool. That'll be epic. So thanks so much, Connor. So Eldar, absolute trash. Custodies, absolute trash. What a great day. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more. I need another drink. Jesus. The Hornet, up 20 points. The Lynx. Who's using the Lynx? Up 25 points. Oh, the Shadak Wraith Knight up 50. It's still less than 500, so you can reserve that one, which isn't a bad shout. Connor Flynn, thank you so much for gifting the membership. What a legend. Thank you so much, mate. Money make me a better person. No, bigger number makes me a better person, Popcorn. Shadow Spectres up 15 points per 5, which is a nice change. Warp Hunter, again, no one's used the Warp Hunter 15 points. So yeah, so now, like, I think Eldar are just going to flip to a different build. It's going to be tanks and infantry rather than just going 2 Wraith Knights and here's an avatar. It's going to be Incarn, infantry, tanks. But again, as I've said, they're still so good. However, they are just not auto-win. You know, most armies were looking at Eldar and just being like, I've already lost. You know? Which is nice. It's like, it's going to be like more of an army and it's going to be more beatable because, like, whilst the tanks and the fire prisms and the infantry are really good, they're killable. Whereas a Wraith Knight was hard to kill. The Incarn's still hard to kill. Can still make it -1 to win. Can still teleport every phase. Still really good. But it's a lot more expensive to do and they don't have the double Wraith Knight to backing it up. So at least you can, while the Incarn's destroying half your army, your other half can destroy theirs, which is nice. So a really nice changes there, I think. I think a lot of the units, the problematic units got changed. I don't think they've put some of them up enough. I still think the Incarn is so good. It should be like 500 points. Or it should only be teleport once per turn. Or if it teleports, it can't charge. Something like that. Something like that, you know. Agents of the Imperium. All the assassin, the Kaladin's assassin, obviously technically had a nerf because of the Vect ability was dropped to 90 points. Well, the Vect ability can only affect battle tactic stratagems now. So only 90 points now, which is pretty nice, to be fair. She's still really good. Just like she's not going to be as effective as like an auto Vect. She can still teleport every turn, which is really nice. She can like be removed from the battlefield and deep strike next turn. She's still got lone operative. She's still pretty good in combat. She's got a cool flamer. But like that's like the main ability she had was like a Vect for most Imperium armies, and now it's only 90 points. It's not quite as good, but it's nice. So Exaction Squad up how many points? 35 points. And you can't take it to 5. But the thing is, they still have Voidsman at arms at 50. So like they take with one hand and give with the other. Like Voidsman have actually gone up 10 points. But if you're looking for a cheap 5-man unit to do actions, just take the Voidsman, you know? I don't get why they didn't change income. Me neither, mate. Been a really rollercoaster ride for Mike, I know. Watching the Dark ability for Dark Angels have no now. No now. So yeah, so like Voidsman at arms are still really cheap. So they can just do your actions for you. They don't have the Feel No Pain. They don't have the weird grenade things. But if you just wanted something to screen or to do actions, they're still 50 points. So still kind of cheap. I mean, technically it's a 15-point increase for 5 dudes. But they're not quite as good. But they don't really do much anyway. So, advice, do you reckon T-Sun's got buffed? I don't know. I ain't got the T-Sun yet. Astra Miller Guard. Astra Miller Imperial Guard. Atalan Rough Riders. Everyone's been taking them now. They're down 10 points. That's updated. They haven't updated before this came out. Baneblade down 60 points. Are we suddenly going to see a surge of Baneblades? You can reserve a Baneblade now. You could strategically reserve a Baneblade if you really wanted to. Or a Bane Hammer. Oh, you could anyway. So all the big ones are really... all the big tanks are down in points. I don't think they're useful because they don't have tower in, so they can't see through terrain. But it's nice that they've gone down. Bullgreens. Bullgreens down 10. Nice. Canadian Castellan down 5, which is nice. No Watch of the Baneblade. Do they have Titanic? Good. Good. What else is down? Canadian Shock Troops down 5, which is cool. Katachans. Not that anyone's running Katachans. Field Ordnance Battery. No one was running those Games Workshop, but they are down in points. Oh, wait, no, they're not. Oh, they're the same. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. That's why. Gaunt's Ghost down 15, which is nice. Hellhammer. Is that another one? You can reserve that too. Okay, so all the big ones you can actually reserve. So they're actually kind of useful because you can put them on, bring them on the side of the board, which is kind of nice. Infantry down, Strachan down, Kassakin down 20. That's nice. I don't know if they're Kassakin actually any good at it in a minute. Let's look at units that people are actually using though, because I can't go through every single unit ever. I'll be here all day. Rogal Dawn down 15. Scout Sentinels up 10. Get fucked. You can still bring them on for free, but they're up 10. Storm Sword down. Tank Commanders. Tank Commander's down 35 points. That like just like counteracts any Sentinel you were taking. Does it have a bottom? Funnily enough, no. Bordwell points. Earth Shaker Carriage Battery. Everyone's taking these. We had these on stream at the weekend. And fucking Janus were just using toys. It was just using Morrison's toys. It was crazy. Let's see if I can find it. It was fine. Like, he had them approved. But it was just playing with toys. It was crazy. Was it day 1 or day 2? I think it was day 1. Yeah, it was. He had Tonka trucks. Well, you can see them there. The Tonka trucks in the corner. Where are the... I want a close-up of the Tonka trucks. There it is. Look at them. Oh, I just missed it. Fuck. Just Tonka toys. Just toys as opposed to Warhammer models. Shut up. Well, these are real toys. These are from Skegness, I think. He painted them really nice, to be fair. But they were just toys. But speaking of the toys, the Tonka trucks are up 40 points. Which is great. That's really good. Got them off Skating Market, mate. Templars. No one was running Templars. But everything's come down in points. Crusader Squad's down 40 points. Elbret down 20. Sword Brethren down 50 points on the max unit. That's huge. Basically, everything's cheaper. Except for the tanks. The tanks actually... The Gladiator Lancer is up 5. The Reaper is down 20. The Valiant is down 25. The Impulsors down 30? 20, sorry. I'm going to take the all player with toys. No, they were real toys. They were real toys from Skeggy Market. Emperor's Champion down 10. Wow, Black Templar's got a lot of stuff there. A lot of shit came down. Executioner even came down, and everyone's taking those. And they still lose. Executioners, trash. Blood Angles. Right, is everyone listening for Blood Angels? No one plays Blood Angels right now because they're so overcosted. So let's have a look at the big one. We've got Death Company, Dreadnought, down 30 points. Wolf. Death Company Intercessors. Oh, no one cares. Death Company Marines, down 15 per 5, which is nice. With jump packs, down 25. Furioso, down 15. Sanguinary Guard. My God, they've done it. They're down 30 points. Sanguinary Guard down 30 points. Because they were 215 for 5. What the fuck? Why are they so expensive? But Death Company with jump packs down 25, which is really good. Obviously, you get loads of Thunder Hammers on there, which is cool. The Sanguinary Priest is down 20, and the Sanguinoid is down 20 as well. That's great. That's great. But yeah, like, why is Sanguinary Guard still so expensive? It should be like, what, 160 tops? 320 for 10? It's 40 points. Yeah, it's 40 points down. My apologies. 175 from 215. 40 point decrease. Seems a bit stupid not putting brackets next to points what's changed. Yeah, I agree. They do it for Age Sigmar, but they don't do it for 40k. Age Sigmar, they put the new points, the old points, and the difference. It's very annoying. Just seen the Death Guard change. Bet you're happy, Des. So, Blood Angel's looking a little bit healthier. I think what this is going to mostly do is push people to bring out the other armies that they were just like, these are unplayable, and go and try them. Desmonds. Time for Desmonds. Beast and Nurgle down. Thank God, I've got fucking loads. Be'lakor up 25. I think that's probably justified. Be'lakor's really good. He's just like auto-taking every demon list. Bloodletters down 20, which is nice. Bloodmaster down 10. It looks like all the big things have been nerfed. It looks like the big things have got a bit more expensive and everything else got a bit cheaper. Like Burning Chariot's down 20. Demon Prince down 15. Demonette's down. Yeah, it looks like everything came down by the big stuff. How much do Flamers come down? Because they're like auto-take. Flamers are the ones that went up. They've gone up 15 points for 3. 80 points is still so cheap for them, though. Be'lakor up because he's a nonce. True. Does this override the Nid Codex? Yes. Yeah, the Nid Codex says, go to the Munitorum Field Manual. Great Unclean one. He's great, he's unclean, and he's down 30 points. Okay, all the big ones bar the Great Unclean one. Yeah, fine, fine. Shalaxi, she's up 50 points. Shalaxi is probably too much. I think Shalaxi is really good, but 50-point increase is huge. Scarbrand down 20, which is cool. Nurgle's cheaper is nice for Death Guard. Also true. That's what you have to kind of consider with every demon model. It's like, how does this fit into another Chaos Army? Celeste, down 20. So it's most of the big stuff went up, barring the Great and Clean one. The Changeling up and Flamers up. And then pretty much everyone else came down. The change to Dead Wounds, I think, really makes Power Fist better than Thunderhammer in most cases. Like, Dead Wounds is still really great. Don't forget that just ignores saves. Be'lakor's up. Be'lakor's up 25. All small units still too expensive. All the small units are kind of expensive. Like, Nurglings is the cheapest one. It's all over 100 points buying Flamers, and they went up. So, Chaos Knights. Obviously, Chaos Knights technically had a nerf with Towering, and that most of them can't Overwatch. So the Rampage has come down. The Brigands have gone up. The Executioner's gone up, 15. The Huntsman is up. The Carnivore is up. And the War Dog Stalker is up. So we're probably going to see, rather than 14 War Dogs, we're probably only going to see 13. Great. Great. So yeah, like the big one, the Rampage has come down. I think the Rampager is the combat one. It's like the okay, what they're called now. The combat one, fist and sword. But yeah, like all of the other knights have gone up 10 or 15 points. So you're probably going to lose one if you're taking War Dog spam. The executions are bad anyway. This just cements them as being a never take. I think they've purely done it just so you can't take 14 in a list. That's all I can see really. They want you to take slightly less. I think the Carnivore went down. Carnivore 140. Oh yeah, the Carnivore did go down. That's true. 140 rather than 160. Which I don't even know which one's which though. I just look at the weapons. Yeah, Carnivore went down. My apologies. Everything else went up. Carnivore and the Rampager. But yeah, I don't even know which one. That's the melee one. Okay, the melee one is dog shit, to be fair. The melee one is pretty rubbish. Chaos Space Marines. Abaddon. Up 30 points. That's great. Carnivore's melee, a little one. Brigand's the best one. Okay. So Abaddon is up 30 points. That's a good change. Abaddon's like auto-taking Chaos Space Marine lists. With Obliterators, which are now up 10 points. I don't think that's enough. I think Obliterators are still so good for the points. I think up 5 points a model is probably not a big deal. Right? Forge Fiend. Up 15. Yeah, that's fine. I think Chaos were really good. Not crazy, but they have to be careful because every time they nerf something, something else could take its place. So Forge Fiend going up 15 is probably fine. Chaos Spawn down, which is nice. Anything else crazy gone up? Hell Brutes, no one really takes those. Lord Discordant, not seen one of those in a while. Down 30 points, that's quite big. Blitz and Forge Fiends deserve nerfs. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust, because obviously they're like the staple units, Obliterators, Abaddon, and Forge Fiends. Like Terminators, I don't think have been touched. What are they called? Chaos Terminators. Yeah, Terminators not being touched is probably fine. But the main units, Forge Fiend, Abaddon, and Obliterators going up is really good. Hellbrute was literally my event-winning team list. Well, now you say 15 points. Abby was too much. He was okay, but not OP. He was literally in every good Chaos list. Still no clarification of Charge's ability. So that's something that, like, I'm a bit disappointed at. There's no FAQ to, like, clarify the rules we've already got. So, shame about the rest of it going up 300 points. I'll do it. Okay. Dank Angels. So Dark Angels, a lot of people running Gladius with the Deathwing Terminators. Oh, which are the ones with the -1 damage? Is it just Deathwing Terminators? Because they've come down. I know Innis was doing really well with like a brick of 10. So they're basically Terminators, but they're -1 damage. Crash Hammer, it's literally the first thing I said about Deathwings, mate. Just the Knights. Okay, so the Knights are the same. Deathwing Command Squad come down. No one really uses them, though. So I'm not... I mean, Black Knights. I have Black Knights. That's nice. The Talon Master down, but is a Talon Master even going to be a unit soon? Because they don't sell the kit anymore. I don't know. It's hard to look at Dark Angels until the Codex comes out because, like, half the units they probably won't be able to use anymore. So, Death Guard. Oh my god, look at all that red. Is there anything that didn't go down? The Miasmic Malignified didn't go down, and the Death Guard Predator. Great. Oh, the Plague Surgeonite as well. Okay, Plague Marines down 40 points for 10. Woo! 80 points for 5 models. That's great. That's so good. Plague Beast Crawler down 10, which is cool. Mortarion, 325. He's down a whole bunch. 45-point drop. Crazy. Lord of Earl is down 15 as well. What about the Terminator's Death Shroud? Down 15. Oh, maybe I am a Death Guard player after all. Blight Lords down 10. Oof. Maybe I am a Death Guard player after all. I really like the Death Guard lore, to be honest. Oh, the lore of the Death Guard's really good. What about Mythic Blight Haulers? Down 15. That's kind of nice. So, pretty much everything has come down. I think Hellbrutes are going to be auto-take now for the range -1 ballistic skill. At 140 points, that's really cheap. Defiler. No one cares about a Defiler. I think what other people might take, because currently no one knows because no one plays them. Lord of Contagion is down 20. A lot of the characters have come down, which is cool. You always said you love Death Guard. I did. I did always say I love Death Guard. They're one of the coolest armies. I think like Death Guard probably got me into Warhammer originally. Before I started playing other armies, probably. Maybe. My Death Guard list in Heat 4 dropped to 180 points. That's pretty good. As I said before, be prepared for the Blood Iron Death Guard Watch Hans Raven. I have a Death Guard army. You know, I got Mortarion, I got 3 3 Plague Beast Crawlers. I got like 40 Plague Marines. And Tom, a couple of years ago, bought me some Terminators that are still on the shelf. Is the Vindicator down? Oh, fucking no. Who cares about a Vindicator? Does it have a can they take a Vindicator? He just asking me dumb questions. I don't know why I read that. Where's the Vindicator? TUV. Death Guard Vindicator. No. That was like your 27th birthday present. It wasn't. It was my second or first year doing it full time. Chaos Vindicator. No, they can't take Vindicators. You'd think Death Guard would be able to take Vindicators, wouldn't you? But there you go. Death Watch. Oh, mate. Put me in the chair already. Get the sponge on my head. Jesus Christ. Just shoot me while I'm down. Veterans up 10. Fucking Proteus up 15. Spectrus up 5. Down 5. Oh, hello. Which was the Spectrus one again? Does anyone care? Is it the infiltrating one that's really bad? Spectrus. Oh, it is as well. Oh, literally no one cares about that one. Spectrus down 5. Veteran Bite Squad down 5. Oh, Deathwatch are trash now. Oh, mate. So rubbish. Wow, can you even take Vindicators? They're not in the points list. Oh, you're talking about Chaos rather than Death Guard. Might be a bit of a delay. Fucking Deathwatch, mate. I'm just done. What am I going to take? What am I going to take now? I don't know. I got nothing left. I've got nothing left. Because these veterans have gone up after nerfing everything they've got. Nerfing every strategy they've got. And they've put the points up. That's so insulting. It's insulting, chat. How much did my list go up? Shall we have a look? I gotta get the Space Marine ones as well, to be fair. So Watchmaster stayed the same. It's already up 60 points, and I can't fucking extend the range of frag cannons. God damn it. Fate Blood Angels. I don't want to. Drakari. I think these are probably going to come down overall. Drazar's down 15. Hellions down 10, which is nice. Incubi down 5. Overall down. My poor Deathwatch. I know, mate. Deathwatch trash. Drakari mostly coming down is fine. It doesn't seem like they've had any crazy drops. Scourges, no. Everything's come down like 5 or 10 points. Probably quite nice. Probably a nice position for them to be in. Gene Stealers. Now, this is the fun one. Aberrants up 20. Get fucked. Achilles Ridge Runners up 10. Alright, yeah, fair enough. Acolytes up 10. Get fucked. Atalan Jackals up 10. Get fucked. Biophagas up 10. Clamaverse up 10. Locus up 5. Neophytes up 10. Nexus up 10. Primus up 10. No, up 20. Lol. Pure Strains down 5. Okay, the unit that no one was taking. Reductus up 10. Yeah, so I think they've not had a huge points change, barring the Aberrants, who are up 20 points for 5. So 4 points a model. But the main faction change of having to roll for things to come back on and not being automatic is like the biggest change. So my 2K list went down to 285. That's not bad. Yeah, so nice changes there. G Circle still got a lot on the board, but it's just not respawning as much, and which is the main thing. And once it doesn't respawn, it can't come back, which is nice. So if they roll and it comes back, it comes back. If they roll and fail, it can't come back. Tag got a secret nerve. In what way? Because of the eligible to shoot thing. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, baby. I'm a Grey Knights player. Let me tell you all about Grey Knights. Because Paladins. Where are they? Grey Knight Paladins. Paladin squad. 450. Previously, 510. 510. 60-point drop. Grandmaster in Nemesis Dread Knight. Down 45 points. Guys, I don't know if I ever told you, but I have a huge Grey Knights army. Look at it. Isn't it glorious? Isn't it glorious? Look at it. Nemesis Dread Knights down 30 points. Strike Squads down 10 points. Purifiers down 20 points. Purgation Squad. They went up to 190. Look at the difference. Look at the difference there. They went 190. Now they're 135. What's that? 55-point drop on 5 models. That's 11 points a model cheaper. That's hilarious. It's so good. It's almost like I love the Grey Knights army. Did you just raffle that away? Jamartin, no, I raffled my old army away. Because I bought a new one, right? You knew that, right? That's why I had to get rid of the old one. We can't see because of chat. Well, chat, clearly in the way. Purgation Squads down to 135 from 190. Interceptors down 25 points. Caldor Drago down 30 points. Lad, this is... I'm in. Mikey says he's not a playtester yet. Buys Grey Knights army before they come OP. No, I'm just big brain. Buy armies that are shit right before a balanced data slate, you know? Feed on it, you know? Look, wait for people to be like, you know what, this army sucks. And I'll be like, you know what, I've got the money to wait for a balanced data slate. You want the money now, take it, it's fine. I've got a new army that'll be really good when the book comes out, or the balanced data slate comes out. And here we go, baby. Librarians down 10. Temporary, you never take one anyway, who cares? Brotherhood Terminator Squad down 15, but Paladins down 60. That's crazy. Searching for a greater army. I got one right here, mate. You can't have it, though. Things with everyone getting points decreases, there'll be just more models in all games on average, and we won't know how those changes worked until we play. No, for sure, mate. For sure. The thing is with it, is with points changes, is it's like it's one of the worst type of fix because you don't really fix anything. All you do is give people more stuff, which is either really good or really bad. There's like no in between. So it either works or it doesn't. There's like it's really hard to control. Chaplain down 15, which is super cool. Voldus down 20. Land Raider down 30 points. Let's go. But yeah, so just get so much more stuff. Again, like if you're running Paladins are like -1 to wound if you're higher strength than them. Their toughness. If you're like that and you're saving 60 points per unit, it's so good. So good. Like 60 points, that's huge. And then the Dread Knights as well being down, what is it, 30 points? And the Grandmaster being down 45. That's huge. Actually huge. Such a huge point swing there. It's like overall, I was looking at it, and like overall, it's just a humongous swing. I think like my list, which is 2,000, was like nearly 1,500 points or something. Imagine trusting that GW will actually go in the right direction with balance. It's almost like they couldn't have done any worse to start with. They didn't start us off great, did they, to be fair? So, no, great change. Great change. Well done, Games Shop. Proud of you. Proud of you. Thanks for making my Grey Knight, Simon. Really great. Looks like I'm taking Grey Knights to Atlanta, baby. Taking Grey Knights to Atlanta. So, so for Knights, we've got the Helverin and the Warglaive up 5 and 10 respectively. But then Canis Rex down 30 because obviously the nerf to Towering is obviously huge. So they've made Canis Rex a little cheaper for some reason. But it's like the cheapest, almost the cheapest knight. He's one of the cheapest knights for sure. It's quite interesting. Can Grenade's deal with heavy armor now? Just take more of them, mate. Just take more. Take even more of them. Have you got loads? Take more. They're one of the few armies that can still do devastating mortal wounds, sorry. But that's basically what Games Workshop have done. I feel like if they're not changing rules, it's because the codex is probably sooner rather than later. So they don't want to change stuff that's in print already. So they're just like going, here's cheaper points. The stratagem cost change means you can only shoulder and CP roll. Oh, also true for his free command point. Everything that is vecting and free command point seems to have gone down. Leagues of Votan now. Here we go. Thunderkin down 20 for 3, which is great. Chthonian Berserk's down 35 for 5. Champion down 15. Hearthguard down 15. Grimnir down 10. Hearthkin down 25. Hecaton down 20. Herdkin Pioneers down 15. Carl down 20. Sagittor down 20. And Utar down 25. One of the cheapest knights. The 2-5 knights cheaper. He's one of the big ones that's cheaper. 460. 1, 2, 3 are cheaper. Which one's the other one that's cheaper? Are you going to tell me your Helverin's cheaper? It's not fucking same. Mikey nearly letting the cat out of the bag. What do you know? I don't know what you mean. It's almost like I knew how much Paladins were. Grey Knights will have the fundamental issue of one anti-tank unit. Take a Land Raider. Just take a Land Raider. Okay? Take a Land Raider. It's fine. That's all you need. So yeah, Leagues of Votan downloads. Obviously, they get the Judgment tokens on 4 units rather than 1 now. Do you think Votan worth running? I mean, it's one of those. You're going to get all those extra CP. You got all those extra Judgment tokens out before the game starts. And you got loads more models. So it's going to be quite interesting. And definitely test it. It sounds nice. It's the right direction. That's the thing with a lot of it. I don't know if we're going to be like, oh, everything. I'm not here saying, oh, well, everything's going to be balanced. I'm not here being like, wow, Games Workshop, thank you. The game's perfect now. But a lot of the game it seems like it's moving in the right direction, which is nice. So, like, Leagues of Votan a lot cheaper. Their faction ability a lot better. Death Guard, their faction ability a lot better. A lot of being cheaper. Eldar, the main units that everyone was fed up of playing against because they were so dumb. nerfed and way more expensive, you know? CP gain is only once per game, not for each unit you kill. Okay, my apologies. But still, having the extra judgment tokens everywhere, I mean, you're going to get the +1 to hit and wound. Is it +1 to hit and wound? You usually be a little bit better against most of it, which is nice. So, great change. Necrones. Doomstalker. How has the Doomstalker gone up 10? It's shit. Oh my god, the Reanimator up 10. I can live with that. Reanimator's really good. Crypto throws up 20. Undeserved, in my opinion. That's fine. Doomsday Arc. Save gun. Oh my god! How has the Doomsday Arc gone up that much? What? Is it 25 points? Lads, I've just bought 2. Lads, I've just bought 2 Doomsday Arcs. How have they gone up? They just got rid of Devastating Wounds and they've put them up? I don't understand that. First time for your live stream, Mikey. Congrats on the Grey Knights investment video. Paid off, mate. Yeah, like, I can understand the Reanimator going up. I can understand Crypto Thralls going up. I don't understand the Doomstalker and the Doomsday Arc going up. They're like crap. The Doomstalker's mediocre at best. And they've only put the Hexmark Destroyer up 10. This is dumb. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Illuminor down fucking loads. Imhotep down 5. Locust Heavy Destroyers. Only up 5. That's fine. Locust Lord, cheaper. Lich Guard, up 20. I think probably justified. Everyone is basically just running Lich Guard these days. Because they're so good. Monolith, down a bunch. No one cares about that. Warriors, down 10. Are they worth it? Still not really. Wait with the dumb and high comments. You'll need them for nids. Ophidian Destroyers, down, which is nice. Skullpet Destroyers, down. I've just bought another 6. Skullpex, down. Skullpet Lord, down 15, which is cool. Vault, 425. Quite a lot. How many points is the Obelisk? It's still 325. Kick me in the dick. Silent King, 420. Blaze it! The Silent King blazes it, brothers. He's down 50 points. Alright, okay, now we're talking. Transcendent Catan, up 20. Honestly, fine. Honestly, fine. Has that enhancement gone up? No. Honestly, 20 points is probably okay. And then Triumph Praetorian's down. So I don't understand. Like, Doomsday Arc can do... Doomstalker, no. Doomsday Arc I can kind of understand, but the 35 point up increase is a bit mental. They should be like 200. Or 25 point increase, not 35. That seems really high. Overlord is a bad nerf due to changes to the game strategies that are available to him. Has Overlord been nerfed? Have they gone up? Overlord's staying the same. Maybe should have gone cheaper. But, was Nightbringer touched? No, mate. The only Catan that was touched was the Transcendent. Orc time. Let's do some orcs, baby. Let's do some orcs. We've got Beast Boss. Up 20. Lol. Without Wraith Knights, I can't think of anything in the game that kills a 20 warrior brick now. No, not one single unit. No. Let's get some wags in chat. Spam some wags. Big Mech down. What were people running in Orc list? I've got no idea. Beta Boys seem fun. Beta Boys down 5. Great. Death Dread, down 20. Death Killer, down 10. Has he got the leader ability yet? I think he has. Down 15 for the Death Copters. Morkonaut, down 20, which is nice. I know Billy was running the Morkonaut. 130 boys. Did boys come down? Are they called Orc Boys or boys? I actually can't find them. Are they called Orc Boys or just Boys? Boys. Oh, Boys there. 85. They're the same, mate. Unlucky. Mega Knobs. Down a few points. Just so they seem like I've had a little bit of a drop here and there. But Beast Bosses have gone up. Knob on Smasher Squig down. Knobs down. Probably quite a nice little change there. Not too much. I feel like with Orcs, it's one of those. If you give them way too much, they just overwhelm you. War Boss. Down. World Bossing Mega Armor down. Down 15, actually. Stomper should be less than the Wraith Knight. How much is a Stomper? Why is it still 800 points? Why does Games Workshop hate selling the Stomper? Why do people hate selling the Stompers? They've not had anything major. They've just had a little bit of a nice change. You probably get an extra unit or an extra character or two in there, which is nice. Stomper price is silly. I agree. Forge World. Big track. No one's taking any of this. No. Can't be bothered. War Boss and War Bike is down 10 points. Okay, chat. It's time. It's time for the big one. There's a lot of red. And it better all be down. It better all be down. Adrax, down 10. Cool. Aggressors, down 10. Cool. Assault Intercessors, down 10. Cool. Ballistus. Ballistus is relatively shit. Down 20. Closer to being decent. But still kind of... I think the ability is just a bit whack. It doesn't do much. Blade Guard Veterans... Down 20. They really want you to run Blade Guard Veterans. Brutalis. Brutalis was 220 points. It's come down 45 points. All you'll say about aggressors is down 10. Cool. What else do you want me to say? Aggressors are fine. They're down 10. I don't think aggressors are that great. Everyone seems to be liking them, but they're also not winning events with aggressors. Best unit in the book. High. The best unit in the book is Desolation Marines. But I can only run 5 now. They won the WTC. That's not a real event. WTC is not a real event, Mike. They choose their own matchups. They go, you know what, I want to play that so I win. Not a real event. Aggressors are fine. Aggressive the Apothecary and Bolt Discipline is getting people going. Yeah, it's alright. Oh, stop moving the goalposts. What do you mean? What are goalposts? Captain in Gravisarmor. He's down. No one was running him. Captain Sicarius. Captain Kotal Sicarius. He's down 10. Sweet. How many people have pissed off with my WTC comment? Until they apologise to me before calling me cancer, it's not real. Mikey Jealousy isn't on the UK team and say WTC isn't real. No, the WTC isn't real because it's run by a bunch of jerks. Okay. And no, I'm not on the UK team. I was thinking about applying, but I also don't want to have someone who called me cancer. I don't have to give them money. Aggressive Biologist, Venturous Deep Tracking, blowing up your opponent's backline, bro. Yeah, it's not too bad. They're not bad, but down 10. It's not like crazy good. They were pretty alright. Got Centurions. Down 25 points for an Assault Squad and down 30 points for a Devastator Squad. The Centurions look like they're actually usable now. They're like T6 with a 2 up and like 5 wounds, I think. Centurions. Do we actually look at them? T7, 4 wounds. Not T6. Abilities, they reroll hit. If an enemy is within range of objective marker, you reroll all hits. Did he type it? He typed it to my face. He typed it. The grav cannons, anti-vehicle 2+3 damage, obviously. You've got the twin heavy bolter, you've got the twin las cannon. Also, you've got the Centurion bolters, which are twin linked, which is nice. Yeah, they call me Cancer, mate. I showed it on stream a few weeks ago. The Centurion Devastators actually aren't terrible in combat either. Centurion Assault Squad gets sustained hits 2 against monster vehicles or fortifications with their siege drills, which are twin linked, which is cool. Not bad. Centurions suddenly become a little bit interesting because they're a lot cheaper. Now, 6 models is quite expensive still, but a lot cheaper. Tigerius, fine. His ability's been nerfed. Darnath Lysander. I like that Stewie meme. You know which one I mean? Man, I need to find it. Me right now. I know I'm playing Family Guy clips, but shut up. Me looking at the nerfs. Me looking at all the Space Marine nerfs. We won one event! We won one event! Leave me alone! Why did Games Workshop hate my entire list? Oh, brother. Right, okay, Death Watch list. Previously up 60 points because of the veterans. Now the Desolation Squad is 400 points and it's 2-5 and I can't use half the stratagems on it. So that's also up 60 points. So that's a 120 point increase. Jesus, fuck me. Oh, man. Dreadnought. Oh, no one cares. Eliminator Squad. No one cares. The rubbish. Gladiator, Lancer, Reaper, and Valiant. Lancer. Up 15. Why is it up 15? Why is the Lancer up? The Valiant down 5. The Valiant and Reaper both down 5. Everyone's running a Lancer has not won an event. I'm so salty. I'm so salty. Why has everything been nerfed? Bring me back Deathwatch. Deathwatch was so fun to play. Ah. God damn it. Hellblaster's the same. Inceptors, I bet they've got up, haven't they? Incursors. Incursors down 5. Infernus. Down 5. Infiltrator. Up 10. Okay, that's 20 points up. Or 10 points up. That's 130 points extra I was using. Intercessors. No one wants to run Intercessors Games Workshop. Stop it. No one cares about Intercessors or Invader ATVs. Or Invictors. I mean, Invictors are fun. Iron Father down 10. Where are Inceptors? Inceptors stay the same. Okay, I'll take it. Land Raiders down. No one wants to buy Land Raider. That model is 40 years old. A Redeemer is down 35 points. A Crusader is down 25 points. A normal Land Raider is down 35 points. I care about my buggy. Why? Why do you care about the buggy? Lieutenant Reaver Armor down. Combi Weapon down. Outriders. No one's running Outriders. They're down 10. Predator. Wow. Predator Destructor. Down 5. Thanks. I lost Desolation Squad's veterans and Deathwatch as a whole, but I got 5 points on my Predator. Oh my god. Scouts, oh, they're getting nerfed. They're getting taken out of the book in like God knows how long. Redemptor down 15. Again, they're just trash. Veterans. Staying Guard veterans. Up. Why have they gone up? No one's using Staying Guard. Why are they up 10 points? Hail Strike, up 10. Thunder Strike, up 10. Oh my god. Gulliman. How much is Gulliman now? Or is it Rebute? Rebute Gilliman. He's gone up. Why? Uriel Ventress. I bet he's come down. Uriel Ventress is down. How? What is the logic? Why is the Ventress come down? He's down 10 points. He's great. That's any unit in the game, deep. Any unit in the army, deep strike. Suppressors. Down 10. Tactical squad, down 15. Great. Terminator assault squad, up 5 points. Terminator squad, down 30 for 10. What are these points changes? Vanguard veterans with jump packs, down 25. That's quite interesting. Is that because we've got no assault squad for a month or whatever it's going to be? I like to think if the points drop doesn't make sense, it's because they have too many boxes in the warehouse. To be fair, mate. The ones in jump packs are cheaper than... The ones on jump packs are cheaper than the ones on 4. Why? What? Excuse me? Why are they cheaper? Why are the better unit cheaper? I'm so done. I'm so done. What is the logic behind that? Where is the logic behind making the jump pack cheaper? It's the same. They are the same unit, aren't they? They are the same unit, barring the speed. Vanguard Veteran Squad, which has a jump pack in the picture. It has a jump, look. Look, in the pictures. Look. Vanguard Veteran with jump pack. It's the same picture, but they've slightly moved it. Abilities. Each time you make a charge move, you get lethal hits. The ability for the other one. Each time you make a charge move, you get lethal hits. It's the same. Melee weapons. They've still got shit melee weapons. They're the same unit, but one of them moves faster. If you move faster, they're cheaper. The logic is capitalism. Fuck's sake. I knew it. It's always it's always capitalism. Like these. Capitalism. God damn it. It nearly hit my brand new cool army, Grey Knights. I love Grey Knights. I love the lore. You can put me in a drop pod. Yeah, that's it. That's all you can do. You can put me in a drop pod. What the fuck? What's going on? Space Wolves. Oh man, we're getting there. Space Wolves. Has the Iron Priest, the Long Fangs gone up? Because they were dumb. No. Iron Priest, has he gone up? Because he's kind of dumb. No. Thank God servitors are getting legends. Tau have come down loads, right? Riptides. Riptide down a hell of a lot. 55 points of Riptide, down from 235. Storm Surge down 60. 65 even. That's a huge drop. Triple Tide. Triptide. Definition so good. They do look good. Arvana Battlesuit. I don't know which one that one is. Long Strike. Down 30. What else has had a huge change? Broadsides. Broadsides down 20 a model, which is cool. Crisis down. Crisis. Down 15. Pretty good. Stealth suits. Yeah, this has some really nice points changes. I know I'm flying through the last few, but it's just because I'm angry about Space Marines. I'm so salty. Shadow Sun down 40. Shadow Sun's down 40. Farsight is only 90 points, down 30. Cold Star down 10, down 20, 15. Commander Shadow Sun down 40, as you say. That's pretty big. Thousand Suns, here we go. Araman up 20. Araman on disc up a lot, 25. Exalted up 10. Exalted on disc up 10. Infernal Master up 15. Magnus up 30. Mutilith up 20. Mutilith only up 20 is probably... I think they're getting off lightly so far. Rubrics up 10. Scarabs are kind of expensive at 215, so they're up 10 as well. Cultists, they're cheaper. Great. Demon Prince, 30 points down. Demon Prince with wings. Not anyone's running these. 5 points down. Defilers, no one's running those. No one's running Land Raider. No one's running Mauler Fiends. Sorcerer, down 10. Up 10, sorry. Terminator Armor Sorcerer, up 10. Vindicator, no one's running those, down 10. Yeah, I think Thousand Suns got off quite lightly. Sorry, my apologies. I've been talking straight for 2 hours. I think Thousand Suns came off quite lightly there. I think a lot of the best units went up like 10, 15 points. Magnus up 30, but obviously he's very, very good. Without as many... well, I mean, Devastating Wounds against Magnus is still really good. So if a Wraith Knight went into a Magnus, that's still really good. But obviously, a lot of the other units got nerfed. So I think Thousand Suns are probably going to still stick around the top, to be honest. Which would make a lot of sense. So... But also want to remind you, at the beginning of the hour, we've only hit 11 members and there's 500 people watching. That is 4 times as many people I get normally, or 300 people watching. That's 3 times as many people I get normally. Let's see if we get this number to be a bigger person. So consider becoming a member for $1.99 or gift a membership and let someone else become a member and join our Discord, !Discord in chat. That would be really cool. I'd appreciate it so much. My new list went up 230 points. I think they came off lightly, to be honest. It's just Terminators look a bit trash now. Like, all the cheap stuff stayed cheap, like Zangor shit, etc. All the enhancements stay the same. Just everything that you were using just is a bit more expensive. Full moon. Let's see if we get this number bigger. A bigger person. Bigger number, better person, Necknull. Be a better person and gift a membership. Right, Tyranid time. So, we've been talking about this a lot. Where's my Tyranid Codex? Here it is. The Tyranid book. As per the release, uses the Munitorum Field Manual rather than the Codex book rules. Which is great, because remember like my list the other day? I already completed it, mate. Look at that. I just so happened to find the old rules of the book. Look at that. So we did the list the other day, and I said the total was 1990, but if you use the Munitorum Field Manual and the Codex, it's 2045. It's actually 1990. Because of the points changes, which is very funny. So definitely for down 5, down 10 from the Munitorum Field Manual, but down 5 from the Codex. Neuralith's only up 5. Parasite up. Lictors all down 10 points each, but no clarification whether they actually have an invuln or not. Von Ryan's up 10. Flyrant's up a bit. G-Sailors all dropped 20 points. Broodlord's down, and then the Ripper Swords went up 5. But there we go. There you go. I thought that was funny. So the list that was runnable via Codex, not runnable using the mixture of Munitorum Field Manual and the Codex, is actually runnable with the Munitorum Field Manual. Probably because the list has nothing good in it. Shut up. Shut up. Right. Let me open this Codex, because I can't use this anymore. So, compared to the Codex, not the previous Field Manual, but compared to the Codex, because this has the most, technically, the most up-to-date Codex available. All points available. Barb Gaunts up 5. Biovores. Now, that's technically a funny one, but they went from 45 to 75. Not that you didn't already know that because someone decided to leak it yesterday. Broodlords, exactly the same. Exactly the same gamers. Carnifex, same. Death Leaper to 70. instead of 75 from in here. Gene Stealers, all cheaper. All cheaper. Mikey, speaking the truth, when was the last time you two won an event solo? I won one like 2 weeks ago. Get off my dick. Who else has gone up? Harpies. Harpies are down, I think. Harpies are up, lol. Cheeky adding the solo in. It's because I'm a big brain, mate. Hive Guard up. Hive Tyrants. Hive Tyrants went up quite a bit. 2, 3, 5. Obviously, Hive Tyrants went up quite a lot. I don't think that's really justified. So the Codex who's now, yeah, the first one coming out is already outdated. No. It says this in the back of the book. It says, scan the QR code. Do not use the points in here unless you agree with your opponent. Please scan the QR code. They say do this. I've seen the comment like 19 times. I've seen that comment like 5 times. Lictor down, which I thought was funny. I don't know if the Lictor doesn't have the invuln in this book, so I don't know if he does have the invuln or doesn't have the invuln. Because in the index there's a 5+. Every other equivalent model has a 5+ or a 4+, but he doesn't have one, which is very weird. Marlin Scepter up 10. Mucilid Spores up 10 as well. Neurolictor up 5. But the fun ones, or the stupid ones, is these. The Norn Assimilator up 5, even though it's the worst one in my opinion. And the Norn Emissary also up 5, the better one. Yeah, but it's out of date. Shut up, Conker Stewie. I don't know why the Assimilator went up again. Like, why did the Assimilator go up? It's already too expensive. It's the worst one of the two, and they've made it more expensive. Like, it should have got cheaper. It should be 300 points tops. It doesn't have an invuln. It has +2 to charge at a unit within 12 inches. And that's it. And that's it. It's alright in combat. It's got D6+... It's got 4 attacks at D6 +1 damage. But otherwise, the Norn Emissary has an invuln, has better shooting, and it gets to feel no pain against mortal wounds. I don't understand why the Assimilator went up again. Oh, man. Parasite. 80 points. Up 5. That's fine. Ripper Swarms up 5. I don't know why they were 15 in here. That's so dumb. Zoanthropes up 20. Winged Tyrannid Prime is the same, technically. And then Winged Hive Tyrant is 210. So, yeah, I don't know why the Hive Tyrant's so expensive. And the Winged Hive Tyrant has gone up a lot. Did the Swarmlord go up? Test Swarmlord. 20 points. Tervigon. Same. Tyranno effects 2, 4, 5. Yeah, they've just gone up so much, it feels like. The new Warcom article about the Battleforge is part of the app. We'll watch the videos after. I think we're nearly done. Detachment enhancements. I mean, they're probably all going to be the same, aren't they? Invasion Fleet 25, 30, 15, 20. Yeah, I think they're just red because they're new. World Eaters. What we got in World Eaters? Core Lord of Skulls. Down a whole bunch. How many units lost to feel no pain against death wounds? Now it's not mortals. Also true. Maybe don't post links and get people to go away. I can find it. Corn Berserkers down 15, which is nice. I think World Eaters is probably one to watch because I think World Eaters just get shot down by most things, but they are so brutal in combat. They are so brutal. 8-bound down 20 points. That's really good. Exalted down 30 points. They're probably the best unit. Barring Angron. Khan down 15. Corn Lord of Skulls down to 480, as I've already mentioned. Lord Invocatus down 15. Everything's down, and they're really good, pretty good army anyway. Okay, there are all the points. That was a lot to go through. That was 34 pages to go through. That was quite a lot. I'm going to have to go grab a drink before I do the rest. I'm going to have to go grab a drink. We're going to watch the meta watch, okay? But I need to get a drink. And I don't want to be that guy who leaves it on and just goes for a drink. So I'm going to be BRB, okay? I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Make some Capri Sun. I'm back. Right, let's have a look at this video. Because last time they said Eldar were not dominant. And then they proceeded to win 70% of events.
Welcome to MetaWatch, Games Workshop's regular look at all things match play. And for Warhammer 40,000 fans right now, it's an exciting time because there's a brand new balanced data slate out there in the world. My name's Nick, and today I'm joined by Stu from the studio to talk all about it. Stu, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, really good, thanks, Nick.
It's exciting indeed. Balanced data slates are big news, man.
Yeah, and this one's a doozy.
It's a big one.
It is.
Why have you released a balanced data slate right now?
So one of the things we really try to do is make sure that 40k is like a fun game for everybody, whether you're playing in like a.
I've set it up. Let me know if that's better.
Top table somewhere, or actually with your friends in your garage or your basement or your local club. And obviously we launched a new edition back at the start of the summer. That's really started to kind of settle down. And one of the things we try and make sure is that all of the armies kind of have a fair crack at the game. And we've been collecting data over the last couple of months, and we've definitely got some factions that are performing better than we want them to. And certainly some also that are kind of maybe lagging behind.
It's very hearable at that level.
Particular faction. So this is our opportunity to kind of level the playing field a little bit.
They are just kind of
like
quiet.
Said, this is a big one. There's quite a lot of things in here. We've touched an awful lot of factions and also some core rules things as well.
The last time we spoke, you showed us the graph of how the factions are doing based on the results you get from different events and things. And there was quite a lot of that were sitting outside your ideal zone.
Your mic is very loud, so it should be.
Middle. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's the intent.
I can't boost anymore. It's on full.
All of our factions sit, around that midpoint. They win roughly half their games, give or take 5%.
And what the tools that you're going to be using to do that?
Yeah, so the main one is points values. So obviously every unit has a points value that's designed to reflect.
The thing is with this is they do repeat a lot of the points over and over. Like, why do we have a balanced data slate? I guess this is a new one, but like,
what's changed?
Every week we kind of say a lot of the same things.
Data slate, which is where we actually change the rules. So points values change kind of how much you pay for that unit, relative to other units in the game. Whereas actually the data slate itself changes some of the rules either for units or maybe for a faction, or in this case, some of the core rules.
Let's talk about that first, because that's going to affect everybody who plays Warhammer 40,000. And one of the first changes I wanted to talk about was the new change you've made to towering units. There's been a lot of talk about those online. You made a bit of a tweak. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so we've actually changed the rules for ruins. So towering is a keyword that like particularly tall models have. They tend to be like knights, titans, those kind of things. And the way it used to.
And before I go into it, I do want to say I think all the core rules changes, obviously half of them were mine. Obviously all the core rules changes I do agree with. I still don't think they've hit some of the factions as hard as they need to be, but let's hear what they got to say.
Work is that they effectively can see over pretty much every bit of terrain on the board. And what we've found is that's really kind of meant that it's quite hard to hide from those units. It also means those units can't hide from you, but most of those units also tend to be quite high firepower units. And combined with some of the other rules that we'll talk about in a little bit, we found that some of those really big models could just put out loads of damage really early on in the game, sometimes even in your opponent's turn using Overwatch and things. Yeah. So effectively what we've done is change the way that ruins work. So ruins work much more like for towering models like they do for everybody else. They block line of sight. The difference is that it's really, really hard to get a towering model wholly within a ruin. So the way ruins work is if you're wholly within it, you can effectively see out. That's really hard if you're a knight, so you don't fit inside a ruin. So the change we've made is that towering models only need
Kitchen roll, everyone. Just to clarify, kitchen roll moment.
to be within a piece of terrain rather than wholly within for them to be able to see through it.
I mean, I know you're miffed about the Space Marines. We're going to get a proper rundown of Space Wolves. The thing is, with Space Wolves, mate, is not many people are running them. So, like, Longfangs and Iron Priests are basically the same, which is, like, the one trick. And then some of the characters will come down, but there's not much to say because you're mainly looking at Space Marines. Like, they're not too exciting. There's not much happening with Space Wolves in the competitive scene. So they've come down a few points, and it'd be interesting to see what happens, but there's not much else to say. There's not a few armies like that I didn't really like go super in depth with, because it's like some of the units I don't know, or some of the armies just don't really see competitive play.
So what this effectively means is that knights will be able to hide a little bit easier, but more importantly, everyone else will be able to hide from them.
Yeah, that's big, isn't it? That's great. So stick one.
I
toe
do
in the
like
ruins,
that change.
You're okay.
Exactly that.
Yeah, brilliant. That's cool. You mentioned Overwatch a minute ago, and that's one of the biggest.
Because the thing is now the mid-board ruins actually do something compared to just being like, why are they even there? Because the Wraith Knight or whatever you can see anyway. So I do like that.
Changes in this balanced data slate. You made quite a few tweaks to Overwatch. Tell me more about those.
So the intent with Overwatch. So one of the things we're really pleased with about 10th edition is the level of interactivity you have in each player's turn, right? So in the past, sometimes it's felt that when it's your opponent's turn, all you really do is kind of watch and make armor saves. And we really wanted to make the game more interactive, and Overwatch is a big part of that. However, in some circumstances, Overwatch has become probably a little bit too effective. And so effectively, every time something moves, there's this whole conversation about, do you want to Overwatch or not? So that slows the game down quite a bit. But also for some of those really big, powerful models, the amount of damage they can do in Overwatch can be quite impressive. So we've changed two things, really. The first one is that you need line of sight to use Overwatch. It was always supposed to represent units kind of taking up a position, and as something appears from a concealed position, they can shoot at it before it finishes its move, rather than your kind of basilisk artillery somehow overwatching. Do you know what I mean? It was never really what it was supposed to represent. Totally. The other change we've made to Overwatch is that it can no longer be used by Titanic units. Loads of those tend to have really high firepower, and probably being able to Overwatch is probably...
I do think both of those changes are really nice. Like, a knight not being able to Overwatch will feel a bit weird, because a knight probably would, like walkers would. But, like, just for the health of the game, it makes a lot more sense. Like, this is something I always mention. It's like, we have to remember that whilst we're playing a game that's set in the future, we also remember we're playing a game, and the mechanics, just because they could work and they could do this, doesn't mean they have to have them as a rule, as a thing you can do. It can make it fun, but it can also make it really, like, non-interactive, or, like, every time you do something, your opponent counters it. Like, Wraith Knight's Overwatch and Auto 6 in, doing loads of mortal wounds in Overwatch was really brutal. So I do like those changes, to be honest.
A little bit too much.
But there's one more change to Overwatch as well, that as a Space Marine player with lots of captains, it's quite close to my heart. What's that one?
Yeah, so Overwatch can only be used once per turn. So the intent is that with all of those interactive...
They said that on the fucking thing. They said that on the stratagem from day one, and then they went, you know what? Actually, yeah, you can use Overwatch 5 times a turn. Actually, so dumb.
Stratagems that they're supposed to give you something to do in your opponent's turn, not spend all...
I don't know why they wrote on the stratagem, you can only use this once per turn, and then just went, you know what, we'll just ignore that for like 3 stratagems. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Never did. I don't know why they did that. So stupid.
Your opponent's turn actually doing your things. So yeah, we've kind of reined that back a little bit as well.
And you've done that by making sort of defining the battle tactics can't be used more than once per turn, no matter what your rules say.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things we've changed around stratagems to do with the categories. So there is those, so things that let you use a stratagem for another time, unless it specifies which stratagem it is. It will only apply to battle tactics. And battle tactics stratagems have been chosen on purpose. So the different categories of stratagems, they're not random. They're assigned those categories for reasons. And what...
Has anyone done a comprehensive list of every battle tactic stratagem yet? Because if you haven't, you can make some money. That's a money idea. You're welcome.
What battle tactic stratagems tend to do is make your unit slightly better at doing the thing it already does. So a little bit more reliable, those kind of things. Whereas some of the other stratagems that you'll be able to use are like one-off special moves or really exciting cinematic moments. And so we really want to make sure that those kind of reuse abilities or abilities that let you do things like a second time or cheaper really only impact those things that are not the one-off cinematic moments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not one-off cinematic moments, right? So that's the other change we've made.
It's fair enough. Maybe my captains were a bit too good. You've also made a change to insane bravery, and in fact, that entire stratagem has completely changed entirely with all the wording. Why have you done that?
It has. All the wording's changed. The impact is kind of quite
Because Battleshock was useless.
subtle
No one cared about Battleshock.
in some way.
It made no difference to the game. Any of those?
So when we were working on 10th edition, obviously we introduced Battleshock was the new way of dealing with kind of morale mechanics and suppression, those kind of things. And we were a little bit concerned that maybe it would have too much impact. And actually, as the game has kind of gone out into the wild, that's definitely not been the case. And quite a few armies kind of rely on Battleshock as a particular ability they have, things like Tyranids.
Fair play, they're saying it's shit.
Chaos Knights
They're
that do things
professionally
like
saying it was
Battleshock.
pretty shit. I'll let them
Insane
off.
Bravery is just a little bit too reliable, a bit too easy to mean that those units don't suffer from it. So
Especially when you could use it multiple times or use it for free as well. It's just like, this one turn I'm going to fail with 2 units, and one of them's going to spend it, and the other one's going to use it for free. It was so stupid.
effectively what's changed is that you now can only use that once.
Once per game.
Once per game,
That's
indeed.
big.
Yeah. So you have to save that for that key moment.
Yeah.
What we wanted to avoid was that thing where, like, you have a really, really close game. It's down to the last objective, last unit on that last objective. You fail that crucial Battleshock test, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So if you want to, you can always kind of have that Insane Bravery in your back pocket for that key moment. And the other thing is when you choose to use it. So you actually have to commit to using it rather than rolling, rather than waiting to see what you got. So a couple of changes to that, and the impact really is actually on Battleshock, not on Insane Bravery. It's quite a good example. Quite often we talk about the kind of interconnectedness of the game and how you make a change over here and what it impacts over there.
Of course.
And although we've changed Insane Bravery, what we're really doing is trying to improve the impact that Battleshock has.
The last one I want to talk about, and the first one that's in the balance.
Yeah, because you look at like the Tyranny Codex, and that has like so many ways to force Battleshock, so it's all out of phase, and they couldn't use a stratagem anyway. And now the list that I wrote that I think's going to be pretty good, and almost like I knew there was some changes happening coming soon. The fact that that list is just like just forces Battleshock everywhere, and you can't even say Bravery it. It's all cheaper. I think it's going to be quite interesting because like Battleshock is just trash. It just doesn't do anything. And now it's going to be quite interesting, I think, because there's no auto pass. You know, always one auto pass, but then you can force someone to take another one. And not being able to auto pass multiple units either throughout the game or multiple turns is going to be quite interesting.
DATASLATE is the change to Devastating Wounds.
Yeah.
It's a subtle change, but it's a big one.
It's a really big one. So the design behind Devastating Wounds was supposed to represent those kind of critical, kind of armor-piercing moments where you do an awful lot of damage and it kind of bypasses, saves and those kind of things. And so the original mechanic uses mortal wounds. Now, mortal wounds have a particular property in 40k where they effectively kind of can spill over from one thing to another, right? And so the intent was always to kind of bypass defenses rather than necessarily hit multiple units. And one of the things we did when we tried to design all the weapons for this edition of 40k is that each weapon has got a clear purpose, right? We tried to make sure that there are very few kind of all-round guns. So if this weapon's a particular kind of like anti-tank type ability, it's really good at killing single models, not great at like fighting units or hordes. Or you might have like an anti-horde weapon that's really good at that, but not so good at vehicles. And one of the things that Devastating Wounds has ended up doing is kind of creating weapons that are just good.
Yeah.
Wraith Knight's a great example. Its main gun, there's not a bad target for it because
Subtle
of the
but
way
big.
Devastating
I didn't even notice that. Did he say subtle but big? Did he actually say that? No way, he actually said subtle but big. That's hilarious.
So Devastating Wounds has probably had a much bigger impact on the game than we intended. So yeah, we've changed the way it works so to better represent that original intent. So essentially now, a critical hit that causes Devastating Wounds just bypasses armor, including invulnerable saves. But what it won't do is spill that damage out across multiple models. So I think that's a really big change. And when we get into talking about some of the...
It's subtle but big, but it's really big. So what does massive amount of mortal wounds now? Pretty much nothing, mate. Like, just abilities. Mortal wounds shouldn't be doing... There should be armies that do loads of mortal wounds anyway, because mortal wounds are really broken. They should be, like, few and far between.
The factions, actually, some of these core rules changes have meant we need to do less to some of those factions. So people will see things like Eldar. They're very reliable at using Devastating Wounds to put out a lot lot of mortal wounds. Actually, this change to devastating wounds kind of impacts Eldar.
Of course.
And therefore, we don't need to change Eldar as much.
So, Stu, what everyone watching really wants to know is how their...
But you haven't touched Incarn. You haven't touched the Incarn. Kinda. I do think the Incarn is so good, even now. Even now, it's horrifically good. Like, I don't understand why they haven't, like, nerfed that. Like, once per turn would be crazy.
Their army is being affected by the balanced data slate, and we'll start off by talking about the ones that were perhaps at the top of the tree when we talked last time. And you've got Custodes on your list first.
I have, and I think obviously we can't cover all of the changes that have been made, in this show, and there's quite a lot for people to dig into. So people should download, the latest film.
Your boy went through every single change. If that doesn't deserve a membership, I don't know what does. They can't. I've been sat here for 2.5 hours.
Manual, look at all the points values. Like I said, we've reviewed all of them. So just because we don't cover a faction right now, there's still stuff that's going to have changed for them. But for Custodes, the Adeptus Custodes have a particular kind of play style where they are, they're the Emperor's finest, right? The Emperor's bodyguard. And one of the things that they can do, particularly with stratagems, going back to what we were talking about earlier, is they can be quite a big kind of gatekeeper for other melee-based armies. They currently...
Yeah, because take bricks of 10, and you just sit on one objective and fight first. It's fucking the biggest brain play you've ever seen. I got 10 boys that move when you get too close, and then they fight you before you. Fight first on bricks of 10 was so stupid. Like, why would you ever bother charging Custodes unless they've got 0 CP? You just never would. You'd be like, I'm not going to bother charging. You charge me. You may as well. Come off the objective. Charge me instead, lad. Ah, God, man. I'm so glad they're only bricks of 6. But even bricks of 6, they have like 5 attacks each. They're like 5 attacks each. That's so stupid. And fucking... They can't use it for free. They can't use it for free anymore. But fight first with bricks and Custodes is so brutal. Mikey, you're a superstar. Thank you. Thanks, BA Commander, bud. How you doing well? Sternguard, units like Sternguard will still work with devastating wounds. Sternguard, yeah, like things that are 1 damage are actually like arguably better devastating wounds than like Brave Knights, because they just like they technically play it one at a time, but like
They have a relatively easy way to always fight first, which means if they charge you, they fight first. If you charge them, they use a stratagem for free and then fight first.
Yep.
So the changes to the battle tactics, the way that stratagems are working, will mean that actually you can't do that as easily anymore. So that becomes a much kind of less useful tactic for them. And
it should be 2 CP.
Actually, the fact that they are the Emperor's finest bodyguards.
Is it 2 CP?
To win
It
their
might
games
be.
rather than some of the shenanigans with stratagems.
They've also changed their squad sizes down as well, so to make less use of 1 command point or more miniatures.
And and people will see that as a little bit of a trend as well. So sometimes with the way that stratagems work,
Good, Phil. I've only ever played it when it was fucking free. I've only ever played against it when it was 0. So thank God.
The bigger the unit that you apply them on, obviously, the more efficient that becomes. And so, a lot of the Custodes units have just kind of come down slightly in squad size, which, again, just means you're kind of paying the right amount of command points for the benefit that you're getting.
You mentioned Eldari before, and people might be surprised to see the changes aren't quite as, perhaps as drastic as they might want to have seen. But what changes have you made and why?
So there's some points.
Custodes is 4+3 on pay against mortal only. Yeah, there's a lot of abilities like that, like the Nornum Emissary, chaplains in most Space Marine armies, and Custodes as well. There's not as many mortal wounds out and about. There's still mortal wounds, don't get me wrong. There's not quite as many mortal wounds out and about, so it's not quite as useful. But really, if you're relying on a Fort Filler Paint against devastating wounds, that's fine. But now you can only lose 1 Custody guard per shot, rather than them rolling 12 damage, taking 4 of them if you fail all your Filler Pains. So, like, something to be aware of. Something to be aware of, That's something to think about. It's like, yeah, you don't get Filler Pain against devastating wounds, but 1 shot can't do 12 damage, and then you have to roll 12 Filler Pains and save 6. So you're still losing 2. You can only lose 1 per shot now. So that's like a big thing to remember.
Changes to Eldari. is part of that. They're really
The only difference is like call me bolters and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you won't get a save against it, but still swing the roundabouts.
targeted around those units that really get the best benefit from their army rule, so from Strands of Fate. That's the main one. We've also changed Phantasm, which is one of their stratagems, so it only affects units now. So infantry units rather than vehicles and Wraith Knights and things.
Dead Wounds isn't the only source
A little
of
kind of
wounds.
nudge to Eldari, really, because most of the changes we think to their balance have actually come from those changes that we were talking about earlier from the core rules.
What you don't want to do is make too many changes so they go much further the other way. Just a little tweak here and now. Keep your eye on it. See how it
Dominant! Not strong, but not dominant, they really said.
goes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things that it's always worth remembering is that the game is this big interconnected system, right? Make a change over here and that ripples out across the whole game. So what we didn't really want to do is make some changes to the core rules that affect Eldari, then change their rules as well, and then change their points values. There's like too many levers that you
Just don't know which ones have the effect.
No, for sure. And the risk is that you kind of overcorrect and then suddenly, armies rather than coming down,
But you could have touched the Incarn. All I'm saying is you could have changed the Incarn.
we want them to knock maybe 5 to 10% off their win rate. You don't want to take 30% off and them suddenly kind of swing around all over the place.
And then, of course, everyone else gets plus 5% as a result. I mean, it skews everything. Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that I think when people are looking at the changes that we've made to like their personal faction, everyone has to remember that because it's a closed system, if this faction comes down, those wins have to go somewhere, right? They get redistributed throughout like the rest of the population, as it were. So the fact that like some of those armies that are maybe around the kind of 40, 43 kind of point, maybe we haven't done that much for those. They should rise as those kind of top predators kind of come down.
Yeah, makes sense. Talking of top predators, we've had the Gene Stealer cult running rampage through tournaments with everyone just turning up and respawning.
I wonder if they'll address Death Watch. Imagine they go, yeah, we saw this guy turn up, but he'd never practiced the list and just went 6-0 and we had to pay for his flight to America. So he nerfed Death Watch to the ground. Imagine, that'd be so funny. I would be like, I'd just shake Stu's hand if I ever met him. I met him once actually, but if they did say that, I would just shake his hand and be like, you know what, you won this one. You won the battle. Not the war, but you definitely won this battle.
All over the place, but you maybe put a bit of a stop to that.
Yeah, again, so some targeted points value changes for Gene Stealer.
This change cost us over 2,000. I don't know what it cost. I don't know.
We really like the cult ambush mechanic.
It would be funny though.
We really wanted to give you that sense of like this unending tide of cultists boiling up out of the sewers kind of thing. So we're really happy with that mechanic. It's probably too efficient. So again, what we've changed is there's
Efficient. You didn't have to roll, mate. The mechanic you didn't have to roll for was too efficient. No, I agree. I agree, buddy. I
automatic
agree.
respawning of those kind of battle line units. There's always a dice roll involved, and we've just changed the probability of that. So it's normally going to be happening probably on like a 3 or a 5, depending.
It was automatic for battle line. Did he forget? Did he forget it was automatic for G to the cult battle line? Now it's a 3+. Max.
On what unit you've got, so it just becomes a little bit less reliable.
Yeah.
And just kind of tones that down.
It was
There are all sorts
automatic.
of factions that are.
It was automatic. They never stop because it's like until you fail, they keep coming back. And it was a 4+, adding 3 if it was battle line. You couldn't fail. They always came back. Now you have to roll them. Now they might fail, and now they might not turn back up.
Are in your Goldilocks zone,
Yeah.
that perfect win rate in the middle that you're maybe keeping your eye on. You've made some changes there as well, and the first on your list is Imperial Knights.
Yeah.
What
So
did you
there's two things really. One is we also want to make some changes that are like quality of life improvements that just make the gaming experience better
Yeah,
for
sure.
people. And we also need to keep an eye on those ones that are maybe in like the not quite the top armies, but the ones that are just lurking just below that. Because again, as soon as we take those top predators out, do they pop to the surface? And so there's a bunch of those, Imperial Knights, Thousand Suns, a couple of others that probably Necrons could be the next big thing if only Eldar and Adeptus Custodes and Gene Stealer cults weren't ruining their deck. So we have made some changes to some of those that do sit in that middle zone, almost like preemptive nudges, really, just to kind of hopefully hold them back from the space that gets created as we take out some of those higher performing factions. Imperial Knights, most of the changes to Imperial Knights really are via those core rules. So the fact that actually they can't just see everywhere on the board because of the changes to ruins and the way the towering works, the impact of stratagems on Imperial Knights. So those kind of core changes will affect Imperial Knights quite a bit. And then there's also some changes we've actually made to Imperial Knights in particular. So Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights are quite an interesting case study because they're very, very similar units, sometimes the same unit, with the same stats and the same points costs and the same kind of... and so any differences are coming from their army rules and their detachments, right? Rather than it's...
And each unit's ability. That's the big difference, is a unit ability, which is like, when you're looking at units now, you're not just looking at the toughness and the strength and the guns and the weapons. You've also got to consider the ability the model or the unit brings to the table. And Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights, whilst they're the same models, they're functionally very different on the battlefield because they all have different abilities. Obviously, Imperial Knights have Bondsman as well to add to it. That's one of their unique abilities that they have. It's all their big knights have Bondsman abilities. So, like, you have stratagems and detachments, but you also have the ability, which sounds like it's getting overlooked, but, you know, I don't know.
Something inherent about being a knight. So we've made some targeted changes to the Imperial Knights as well, mainly around a couple of their stratagems, but also the way their bondsman abilities work. So currently the bondsman ability, when it triggers, affects like the armiger and like its parent knight. And actually we've changed it so it just affects the armiger itself.
Fair play. We've also got 1,000 Suns on your...
There was like no elaboration on that. Fair play. Fair play. Where's the elaboration? Why have you done that? Is that, I don't know why they would have done that. To me, that sounds like a really strange change because the whole point of bondsman is we're bonding together. But like, there's only 2 armigers to choose from, whereas the Chaos Knights have like loads. That's why everyone's running loads of small ones compared to Imperial Knights, because they're a bit mediocre compared.
You mentioned them as well before. What changes have they got? Their sorceries are quite good.
Yeah, so the main change for 1,000 Suns is around their points values, and we've particularly targeted those on the sorcerers, the wizards, because they're the things that generate your Cabal points.
Yeah.
So a lot of the kind of power that you can unlock from 1,000 Suns army comes from how you can use those Cabal points. So we've just increased slightly the points costs on those things that generate those Cabal points. And like I say, 1,000 Suns at the moment are doing fine.
Like you saw with Will at the weekend, he was running like loads of extra, loads and loads of extra characters just for Cabal points. So his list will like take a serious nerve compared to other 1,000 Suns lists because he was just taking loads of Exalted Sorcerers on this solo, not even putting him in a unit just for Cabal points. So
they're not
interesting.
anything to worry about, but
They could be.
They could be once we take out those the kind of the big daddies of 40k. So that's like a preemptive nudge to the 1,000 Suns.
And last on your list of folks in the Goldilocks zone, the Space Marines. You've made a small change there, but to the Desolation Marines.
We have. So I think we found Desolation Marines have been quite difficult to get right, both in the last edition and the current edition. And so for now, what we've done is just lowered the unit size. So 5-man unit. So it's similar to what we were talking about when we were talking about the the Adeptus Custodes and their kind of big blocks of units.
Yeah, of course.
They get real efficiency out of any stratagems or any leaders that join them.
Not that they can use any of the Deathwatch stratagems anymore. Cringe.
That become, like I say, really, really efficient. So just by nudging the unit size down to a 5-man rather than a 10-man unit, it just takes the edge off of the amount of damage that they can do.
So last time you were here, we talked about a few of the factions that were struggling a little bit at the bottom. A few that are on like 34, 35% win rates, which is obviously nowhere near where we want to be. What have you done for those guys? And your first on your list, you've got the AdMech.
Yeah, so Adeptus Mechanicus, I think, struggle a little bit, really due to some of their core infantry. And they're not doing too badly. And again, we don't want to overcook things. So we've made some points changes. There's quite a
They're relying on Breachers to win. Breachers are insanely good. That's the only good unit they have. Cutter from Breachers. So they have it rerolls a hit roll of 1. It's within 6 of more of another battle line. You reroll the hit rolls, which is nice. So you just hide some Skitarii behind a wall. And then they have the art rifles, anti-vehicle 4+, strength 8, -2, 3 damage, rapid fire 2. And then the torsion cannon, anti-infantry 2, strength 6, -2, 2. It's just like, they're just really good at killing vehicles and infantry. They're crap at killing monsters, which is like Tyranids Wraith Knights are a bad matchup for them. But most other matchups, they just go, here's the fucking butt fuck of loads of damage, anti-vehicle or anti-infantry 2 or 4+. So that's why they're good. They went down in points.
Changes throughout the Adeptus Mechanicus.
And the T7, T7, Jesus.
10% on average. So that will give the average AdMech player 1 or 2 additional units on the battlefield. Yeah. But in terms of units, what we've done is to increase the survivability of the core Skitarii units. So the Rangers and the Vanguard, their armor save and their invulnerable save has gone up a little bit, which just helps those units kind of stay around longer on the battlefield and do the things they need to do. Like I said, that's coupled with some points changes where the points on average come down.
That's a big change, because if you have a unit of Rangers in cover, they're all on a 3+ save now,
Yes.
which is massive news.
Yeah.
Next up is Death Guard, and they've got huge changes for these guys. What have you got for them?
No mention of Deathwatch. They don't want to give me free content.
Yeah, so again, some points changes. And Death Guard are probably a good example of like the limitations of using points, right? So sometimes when I'm chatting to people at events or, and they're like, well, why don't you just change the points values of things? Well, you get to a point where that either doesn't work because you either have to charge so much for a unit. So if you take something that's really good, you take the kind of much feared Eldari Wraith Knight, right? 500 points, I'm definitely taking one. 600 points, still taking one. 700,000 points, not taking any, right? So it's quite hard to get the points value right on some units because they're either so good and then they suddenly tip into, well, it's just not worth the points cost. So that's one of the limitations. The other one is you don't want to change the feel of that faction, right? So, and Death Guard are a great example. We couldn't just keep lowering the points cost on Death Guard. It just puts more and more models on the board. And suddenly, instead of this kind of like elite, hulking, plague-ridden army, it's become a horde army, right?
It's 100 guys. What's
Exactly.
On,
And suddenly you're like, well, why is there more Death Guard on the battlefield than Imperial Guardsmen? And you're like, well, that can't work either. So sometimes those are like the two of the limitations with points, I guess, is that you either fundamentally change the way that army feels, or you kind of point
Literally.
into.
We can't just lower everything. Literally every unit in the book went down. But yeah, they've like dropped a lot, but it's not like. Yeah. A lot of the army has come down.
Oblivion, because it's on like a knife edge. And so with the Death Guard, we have made some points changes. Again, probably around about 10%, probably gives you an extra unit. But we can't go much further without just flooding the board with Plague Marine.
You can literally flood the board with Plague Marines now. That'll be like 150 points of 10. How many points of Plague Marines again? You literally flood the board with Plague Marines. Yeah, 160 points of 10. You could take 100 Plague Marines and Mortarion. And have points left. Lad, shall I do 100 Plague Marines? Shall I just to spite this comment of you could have 100 dudes on the board? 100 Plague Marines and Mortarion with points left. I'd call it the Hulking Elite. You do it, you know you want to. I could do it. That would be very funny. Deal with 100 Plague Marines and Mortarion. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. You could take 90 in a Hellbrute, probably. Maybe 2 Hellbrutes, anyway.
Which that's not the Death Guard like playstyle, it's not the character, it's not what that army's about. So what we've done is have a look at their detachment rule and effectively completely changed it. So there's a whole bunch of different sicknesses that you can choose from, which is quite apt for the Death Guard. So it's beyond just changing enemy toughnesses, there's a bunch of different benefits that you can get depending on what sickness that you choose. So quite a big change for the Death Guard that I think Death Guard players will hopefully find loads of interesting ways of boosting their output on the battlefield.
That's really great, because normally in a balanced data slate, you're sort of tweaking a number here or altering a sentence there, but this time you just
put more narrative into the army, which is great.
Yeah, and I think we want.
I do think hell boots some money now. Being able to give out -1 to hit and -1 weapon skill and ballistic skill more specifically, as well as -1 toughness, really good.
We want people to enjoy playing with the army that they've got, right? And people fall in love with a particular faction, and you want that experience to be rewarding and fun. And so, yeah, like you say, you usually...
Right, yeah, I forgot they have a rule of 6 now, don't they, for Battle Line? So you could run max 60 Plague Marines. I completely forgot that Battle Line was limited to 6 units. Still, 60 Plague Marines, less than 1,000 points.
We try and do things quite subtly. We change the points value here, or we change the wording of a particular thing there. But sometimes we just need to kind of get out a bigger tool, really. And,
You're right,
and
Des.
Death Guard, and we'll talk a minute about Leagues of Votan, are just two that really just needed something much bigger to have that impact.
Leagues of Votan players is just pricked up as you said that. Let's talk about them because they have been at the bottom of your lists.
They have
since we started seeing them for 10th edition.
Yeah.
They need a bit of a help up, bless them.
They
What
do.
have you got for them?
They do. And again, another thing, like you don't want to push the points values too far. We have moved the dial quite a lot on the Leagues of Votan on their points value, so you will get a bunch more Leagues of Votan dudes for your points values, which is good.
Man, I wish I bought a Leagues of Votan army a few weeks ago when there was shit. It'd be like 1,000 points now, but I wish I bought one.
And again, we've changed the detachment rule. So Ruthless Efficiency is their detachment rule. Effectively, what it does, it puts judgment tokens on units at the start of the game, which interacts with their army rule, where things that have judgment tokens, you get benefits to hit and wound and things like that. And effectively, what the change does is put a lot more judgment tokens out.
So many more.
Like 4 times as many, right?
So many more.
So what we didn't want to do is completely change the way that their detachment rule works, right? So people have only really been playing with the new rules for, 2 months?
Yeah.
They're still getting their heads around how everything works. So completely changing their detachment rule didn't seem like the right course of action.
So that was on the cards. That's basically what we were saying.
Instead,
In so many ways, to say we were going to change the detachment rule, and we're like, you know what, we'll let them play it out a bit longer.
effectively boosting your ability to put judgment tokens out early helps you do the thing that you were doing already better. And the Leagues of Votan army rule really starts to come in currently, if you survive long enough, starts to come into its own later in the game. Because effectively, as your opponent kills your men, you get to put judgment tokens out, which boosts your army. It's just quite often you're already too far behind to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So what this effectively does is kickstart that ability. So the opponent starts with more judgment tokens out. Hopefully then your kind of juggernaut of judgment kind of starts rolling earlier. And unlocks those abilities that are already there in their army. It's just, I guess it might feel a little bit like you're on turn 3 when you're on turn 1.
I'll take that. That sounds great.
So you kind of just get that kind of head start, really.
And you'll have more miniatures on the table
And
as
you'll
well.
have more miniatures on
which is a terrifying
Bye, bye, bye.
prospect.
Too easy to do that one.
I face them all the time. We've also got the Tau on your list as well. They've had a bit of a points drop as well.
Yeah, so Tau are a really interesting army. They do nearly all of their kind of interaction with the opponent in the shooting phase. Notoriously not great in a scrap. And so they, in some ways, are quite similar to Eldar in the way that they play. They tend to have lots of small, fast units, quite high firepower. And I think in this edition, they've definitely been kind of like out-Tau'd by the Eldar.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, I think the way that the Tau play is right. So we haven't made big changes to their rules. We haven't changed their fundamentally the way they play. Most of the things we've done for Tau around points values, particularly around key units, to hopefully put some of those other units kind of in play in a way that maybe Tau players haven't felt able to up until now. And again, with the changes to the rest of the game around Tau, they are one that is quite...
Sorry, guys, I completely zoned out. We're talking about Tau.
Quite swingy sometimes.
Yeah.
And we don't want to create a situation where Tau go from like bottom to top, right? You want them to go from in the bottom to in the mid-table. So really Tau benefit the most from the changes to those other factions in the game. Kind of effectively rise up as those come down, and changes to the points values as well.
Stu, this is a big shake-up. This balanced data set, it really is. It's a bold move. I love it. And how are you going to keep your eye on things?
Yeah, so as we have done for the last few years, where we are actively trying to make the gaming experience the best for everybody.
What's quite interesting is credit where credit's due. I've been playing the game long enough. Boomer moment. Boomer time, everyone. Shout boomer in chat. I've been playing the game long enough when Games Workshop used to write codexes, and then that was it. They just put a codex out, It could be broken. It could be really good. It could be physically like just not work. And then they just put out another one. They just went, okay, here's another codex. And then have like design philosophy from the last one that didn't work and then do it again. And they do a lot. I think they need to find a way to like be less corporate so they could be more honest. Because transparency is key in this sort of like environment of like we're trying to be like super active and like super on the ball, but then they're like super corporate and they just don't say they're like subtle but big, and it's just like there's lots of little things, you know. Think I've been playing longer than you have lived, probably. Right, everyone who called me Boomer is getting timed out. Just kidding, just the grey names. Grey name cringe! You should become a member anyway, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned. We try to hit 10 members every single stream. The more members, the better. You get to join our Discord, !Discord. So, and if you're grey name cringe, you just got timed out. Unlucky. Unlucky, what can I say? It's £1.99.
And it's worth saying, you know, we tend to talk quite a lot about kind of competitive play, and that is where we get a lot of the data from. But really, our goal is to make 40k more fun for everybody. So for this balanced data slate, for these changes, we do recommend that anyone playing 40k, you know, uses them if they want to, whether that's in event play or match play or even in Crusade. We think these rules give you a better play experience. So we'll keep monitoring it and we'll keep collecting data. Our intent is still to do an update quarterly if it's needed. So January, we'll look at the points again, we'll look at the state of the game again, make any changes that we need to. And the other thing that's going to change the game is, you know, we've got codexes coming. It's not long now before the first codexes drop. They will have an impact on the meta as well. And so we've also kind of got one eye on the kind of codex releases that are coming down the pipe, as well as what's happening out in the wild.
So many things to keep your eye on at once. All those balls to be juggling. That's fantastic. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and getting a bit of an insight into the...
If there weren't any playtesters, Stu, listen. Because keep in mind, I wouldn't have nerfed Death Watch. They're not actually that great. But if they do want people to help out, I am happy to help. It will cost you a bomb, but I will help. You stole my idea for Devastating Wounds. Kind of stole my idea for Towering. Listen. Nick said balls. Nick said Stu likes juggling balls. That's what they were his words.
The balanced data slate. And guys, don't forget the balanced data slate is now available to download from the Warhammer community website. That's all from us. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll see you guys next time on MetaWatch.
So that's it. That's all of it. My favourite change was the -3 points per model. Yes, -3 for jump pack van vets. The jump pack van vets going down was so funny. And then Battleforged is now paid for. They want you to update because you can only use one list now. That's the other thing. The local Warhammer 40k app is a crucial tool, so we're charging for it. The free-to-download app contains the core rules, every index data sheet. To clarify. There's also the battle and detachment for every faction. All combat patrol rules and the rules commentary. There's also Battleforge, a simple yet powerful armor building. From today, most of Battleforge functionality will be included in your Warhammer Plus subscription. Subscribe to be able to wait as many armies they like. At least it's only $69.99. Free users, on the other hand, can create one army list at a time. The create army button will be disabled once one list has been composed. Note that your existing army list will not be removed if you already have multiple ones made, but you won't be able to make a new one until others are deleted. Could you just scam? Could I not just make like loads and loads of lists, like 5 Space Marine lists, and then update, and then I'd already have them. You don't have access to NIDs, so you can't access NIDs anymore unless you got the book. Unlucky chat, I've got the book. All codex rules, including day sheets attached, will be available with an activated code. That's brutal. I think No. This, fine. Not being able to access any data sheets is brutal. Making data sheets free was great because you could get an idea how the army worked. It was inevitable. They're free in Age of Sigmar. Not making the datasheet free is brutal. And even if you pay, yeah, you can't pay for the data sheets. You only get the data sheets if you got the codex. That's bad. That's really, really bad, I think. Not being able to check up on your opponent's rules while you're playing is really silly. I think that's shit, mate. I think that's really bad. I think that's really, really bad. I think if you're going to block anything behind a paywall, detachments, enhancements. Okay. Cool. No data sheets? Oh my god. Well, back to Wikipedia. Quite literally, yeah. Like Wikipedia, you're going to have a field day. Put a few adverts on there, they'll be raking it in. The datasheet pack only has datasheets in it. And now their app won't have access to datasheets either. Cannot tell you how many times I was checking rules for enemy each in my last tournament. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm happy. Like, it's annoying, but like I'm fine for them to say list building costs money. I'm fine for them to say like enhancements cost money. But like if I'm paying for the app, I can't see the data sheets. Like, what am I gaining? Like a calculator. So they're charging me £5 for a calculator. I've got to buy the codex anyway. You pay for the app and your codex, yeah. You pay for your codex, you buy your data sheets, which are another 20 quid on top, and then you buy your glorified calculator for £5 a month. Do you need Warhammer Plus to redeem your codex? Probably. I don't know. Bro. What's going on? I'll be honest. Not a fan. Ain't a fan of this one, bro. I ain't a fan of this one. That's crazy. So they want you to buy the codex and the cards, and to write your list you have to pay £5 a month. Am I missing something? Is suddenly everyone loaded? Is everyone made of money now? No people can't afford that. That's the minimum £60 for the first month, and it's £5 a month after that. They said the excitement stuff going digital is dead. Yeah, like if they said list building was locked and like army rules, like enhancements and strats and stuff are locked behind a paywall, I'd be like, yeah, bit annoying. Fair enough. I know I was complaining Monday, but now it's even worse. I don't think you need Warhammer Plus to redeem. Maybe. Apparently, Niz can't access either version of the rules. Hilarious. Hilarious shit. I think I'm just going to delete the app at this point. So why are you having to pay £5 for a glorified calculator? You know? I don't understand. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've been live for 3 hours. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Thanks for chilling with me today. I really appreciate you. It's been great. It's been emotional. And finish it off with, apart from the core rules, this has been the worst addition to memory. Time to do some actual work so I can afford the app and the cards and the codex and the models. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time and watching today. It was a lot to go through, but hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me and all the other cool people watching the stream. If you would like to continue the conversation, you can join our Discord, /Discord in chat, or there's a link down in the description. You can support the channel by becoming a member, or you can super chat, or you can just tell people to come tune in next time, because I'll be live again tomorrow, hopefully. Now, my opponent has dropped out, so I'm currently trying to find a fill-in, but I'm currently painting the Norn Emissary. I've nearly finished her. Here she is. I've nearly finished painting the Norn Emissary now. She's looking great. So I'm hopefully going to be using her on stream tomorrow. So I'm live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday night and Wednesday morning for the morning news. Okay. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it all. And I'm going to go. Magoo says he's the people champion and then said he's too busy to play against me. So anyway, thanks for watching. Love you all. And bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8. 8, by the way. 8. Don't forget. Bye. Love you. Bye.